Hey, baby girl, I'm about to go hop in the shower. When I get out, we head out to the volleyball tournament, okay?
Okay. Oh, can I use my the computer?
Oh, yeah, of course, baby. Of course. Hey, baby girl.
Yeah.
Repetition breeds familiarity.
Familiarity breeds comfort. Comfort breeds complacency or success. We're going for the latter rather than the former.
All right, good deal. Handle business.
Okay.
Hey, remember you're a beast out there. Act like it.
I will.
All right.
Let me see what he got in these emails. Spam. Overdue bills. Not surprised. Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. Young nigga got it bad 'cause he's broke. What is this? Sarah? Linda? Becky? Amber? Amy? Molly? Ginger? Heather? Karen? Oh, hell no. We are not having this. No, I don't want no Pancake Tuesdays. Oh God, delete. No, I do not want your lemon bars, Karen. Ooh, my dad's gonna get...
Oh, man, I love the game of golf. It was a beautiful day out here today, wasn't it, baby girl? You didn't think it was a nice day today?
Well, I am sweating all over, so... No, I didn't really think it was.
Well, I mean, you got to drive the car. You got to drive the car, and it did have the hood on it, so it kept the sun off of you.
Yeah, but it had no air conditioning.
Well, okay, fair enough. So, we're going to get something to eat, right?
Of course.
Cool.
And you're obviously paying, right?
Always. Man, golf is a fun sport. Hey, I drove the ball pretty well today, don't you think?
Pretty well to the far right, yeah?
But, okay, even though I went right, my iron game was really good, and I was able to fight my way out of that.
Yeah, but you hit it into the sand, and you did that quite often, might I add.
Even when I went in the sand, my chip was really tight, so I was able to get out of there and get close to the flag.
After 3 times.
You have to admit, though, my putting game was really good, and it saved me a lot of the times from all of the bad hits I had out in the fairway.
And it only took you 11 holes. Listen, until you get a good golfing game, I'm gonna keep giving you shit.
I'm improving. I mean, since I've gotten started, haven't I got a lot better?
Yes, you've gotten better since your injury.
We don't have to talk about my shoulder, but I mean, that's another reason why it's coming along slowly, but, you know, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
Sure.
Do you have strong opinions and you're looking for a way to express them? Are you tired of carbon copy sports radio that infests the airwaves? Do you have creative concepts and ideas that you want to share with the world? Then this is not the commercial for you. This commercial is all about
Kinko's University.
That's right. Kinko's University gets you prepared for the podcasting world when you don't have the chops for it. If you're one of the many people looking to get into podcasting, but you just don't have the skill, Kinko's University is the university for you.
I want to do a podcast, but where do I start? And what do I talk about? Kinko's University.
Don't worry. Here at Kinko's University, the first thing we teach you about is OPP. That's right. Other people's perspective. So you can always have something to talk about getting it from another source.
Podcasting looks fun, but do I really have to do all that research and show prep? Kinko's University.
Absolutely not. Here at Kinko's, we have classes like No Preparation 101, where we teach you to get around all of that pesky show prep because we know you don't have the time.
I wonder what the best time slot is to get the most listeners. Kinko's University.
Don't worry. Here at Kinko's, we have a class called Recycling Ideas 101, where you can find a time slot that works and just jump in that slot to try to make it happen for yourself.
Kinko's University. I want to come up with new content and subject matter, but I'm not that creative.
Kinko's University.
You'll also take Regurgitation 101, which will help you come up with other people's subject matter that you can recycle and make your own. That's right, here at Kinko's, we teach you how to get around hard work, getting new wrinkles in your brain, and having to work hard at your craft. Come to Kinko's, where you can take these top courses with top teachers. Most people that go to Kinko's graduate with Kinko's degrees, that's right, as master copiers. Kinko's University, for the skilled impaired.
Kinko's University is not a real university and is not accredited. You don't actually learn any skills. You just learn how to mimic people who have actual skill.
Underground Railroad Show with that ninja. All aboard, have your tickets ready because the train has arrived. Delayed or on time, it's time to get on board.
What's going on, fam? This is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, That Ninja. What's going on? Thank you for coming aboard. Hope you are enjoying the ride thus far. Apologize for not doing a show yesterday. I had some had something to handle, had some side work to do. So I didn't give you a show yesterday. My apologies for that. But on today, we're going to go strictly with college and pro football. Strictly with college and pro football. Strictly with college and pro football. And we also have some layaway cow awards that I will be doing towards the end of the show. Thank you for coming aboard. Sorry for the odd day and the awkward start time, but the alerts went out on the usual platforms with one exception. I didn't put it on Facebook. The platform is telling me that Facebook is the issue with some of the glitches, or, you know, if you have a group or a business, whatever, but whatever they were saying, some of the things I'm doing on Facebook may be affecting the feed. Therefore, I just took it off. I didn't want to take that chance. Considering the last show, mic check. I don't see anything in the chat room about a mic issue, so I'm assuming I'm good. But mic check before I continue. Also, do y'all see a glare? Is this clear? I'm still experimenting with the camera thing, so bear with me with the generic background and whatnot. So bear with me on that. But give me an audio check. Mic check. Am I good? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Lima Charlie. All right, that's all I need to know. All right, thank y'all for coming aboard, man. It's football's in the air. Pigskin is upon us, and I'm going to jump right into it. Again, we had the second week in college football, third week if you count week 0, and we had the opening weekend of the NFL, which I was very excited for. And in the majority of the cases, did I get the results that I wanted? No, I didn't. But did I see some things that I liked? I did. Which is why Which is why the title of today's show is simply positives and negatives. Positives and negatives. I'm going to go through a limited amount of games in college football. It was a soft weekend. I'm not going to waste a lot of verbiage on what in all purposes and what in all reality are meaningless games against scrub teams. So I'm going to be very specific and very concise when it comes to college football. 6 games on the schedule, I think 7 at the most. So we're going to go through that initially. Then we're going to get into the NFL. And in every case, I'm simply going to give you the positives and negatives that I saw in each team, in my humble opinion. again, like I said in the opening show, not the opening show, but the show that was the initial football show once the season had commenced, I need to see 4 games against quality opponents before I give you any type of emphatic or definitive opinions. Once I get that, I have some things to say that I can say with my chest, that I can say with confidence, that I can bank my reputation on. Right now, I'm guessing. I can give you thoughts, what I think people should do. Every week as I go, I'm going to say, okay, I'd like to see this. I'd like to see that. This is simply another version of that. So positives and negatives that I saw. That's what I'm going to get into. Now, remember, I was stalling because there was one thing. I did pick my team, and I did it before the game started on Sunday. I put it in the thread and some of the platforms, but mainly the thread because that's who holds me accountable for these type of things. But I did that as a matter of record before the game. And I'll tell you the 2 teams it came down to, and I'll just tell you right off the bat who I picked. For those that weren't in the thread and who weren't aware, brief history, quick reset, then directly into college football. After college football, I'll read chat. So this brief reset on the team that I picked and why. I'll give you at least 3 college games, then I'll do chat. I won't give you all of them. I'm not going to be long-winded. My intention is to not be long-winded. Let me say that. That's better. My intention is to not be long-winded, and I'm going to get into, again, very specific games. But I was a Raider fan for as long as I've decided to have a pro team. And in that, I guess that age-old question, college or pro, I'm a fan of the beautiful coordinator deficiency that is the game of football, an activity where it takes a unique effort by a group of individuals to move in unison and make something happen. And if somebody doesn't do their damn job, it takes an extraordinary effort from another individual to make up for the failures of the other piece in that particular chain or in that particular damn team. It's the ultimate team sport. It's a beautiful coordinator deficiency, and I love it in all forms. But if I had to pick one, for me, it's still the NFL. But college is very close. Right now, for me, it's still the NFL because at the end of the day, it's the best of the best. I don't co-sign the cowardly little all of that. I don't think they care and all of this goofy shit. That, again, is a Caucasian narrative that really stems from something deep down inside them doesn't like these type of people making that type of money for playing a sport. So it's more about that. That's why they're so upset about certain college players getting paid. I digress. Back to what we're talking about. The team that I picked was the Atlanta Falcons. Michael Penix, and yes, if he's still in that category, the booty face Raheem Morris. And I put in the text thread, after much deliberation, and I'm paraphrasing, after much deliberation, I have decided to go with Michael Penix and the Atlanta Falcons because I believe Mr. Penix is special, and I'll take a booty-faced ninja over a Caucasian with facial hair. Now, it came down to 2 final teams, and both were semi-based on the coach and the quarterback, the culture, the direction I thought the team was going in, things that they were showing me from an organizational standpoint that I could really grab a hold of. Okay, y'all are serious. Y'all are getting pieces for your quarterback. You're putting a team around him. You're actually trying to win. When the game starts, as an efficient game plan. You're not hamstringing your quarterback. You're not locking them up. You're not doing that. Well, we have to bring them along slowly. Those guys aren't that bright. Run on first down, run on second. On third down, we'll let them throw it short of the first down. Then we'll criticize him for not getting the first down. They hamstring a damn quarterback, don't let you play, and then when you don't shine, when you only get to throw the ball in special occasions, when the entire defense knows it's coming, you get criticized for the shit. If you actually let somebody play, you can see what they can do. Point being that those type of things. I didn't want to pick a team that like Chicago that's gonna get a quarterback and limit him as if they actually don't want him to shine. So I didn't want that. So I decided to go with Michael Penix and Raheem Morris. Right behind them, and it came down to the wire, which is why it took me so long to put it in the text thread. I was going to go with Justin Fields and New York Jets and their newly acquired head coach, Aaron Glenn. I was going to go there. And I just decided to go with Michael Penix because I at least had a short. I ended up going that way. But that's what it came down to, the Falcons and the Jets. I decided to go with the Falcons, and we'll get into that when I get into the NFL. We'll get into that when I get into the NFL. So officially, pro-wise, I've decided to go with the Falcons. Nice opening weekend all the way around. Let's jump right into it, man. College football, we're going to jump directly into it. College football, let's go ahead and get about 2 to 3 games down. And let's go ahead and start right here. It was a thin weekend in college football. Once again, let me check the text thread. I've already been given a Lima Charlie. Oh, yeah, I'm good. Okay. Get at the top of the thread so I don't read chat early. College football. Second official week, third week if you count week 0. Week 0 where I attended the HBCU opening in Atlanta with the Angry Black Man and Sluggo the motherfucking Hammer, along with Angry Black Man's nephew, there with Light Skywalker and Sluggo. Great time. Great time. Opening weekend. All right, second week rather. First game I want to get into is Boston College versus Michigan State. One of the very few games I felt was going to be competitive, and it didn't disappoint. I'd say every game I'm going to cover except one, and even that one was close, but not as aesthetically pleasing as every other game was. Every other game was really fun to watch, even for the novice fan that doesn't necessarily know what they're looking at. But just from a viewership standpoint, as far as excitement, when you're not necessarily a defensive person, you really enjoyed these particular football games. There were limited quality matchups, but many of them gave you a good game. Boston College taking on Michigan State. Aiden Childs, second year starting, got a few plays here and there as I think a freshman, maybe a red shirt when he was at Oregon State with this coach, along with DJ, and I forget. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his last name and butcher it since I'm not 100% certain about it. But he essentially was his backup, but he came in every now and again and ran some plays. But Aiden Childs in the second year in the Big Ten and at Michigan State made a statement that he wanted revenge against Boston College earlier in the week. That is what it is, but it shows his confidence. For me, as I said in the beginning of the year, I'm looking for Michigan State to improve. But again, let me stay with the theme. Positives and negatives. For Boston College. And once again, this is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, That Ninja. Did not reset that. This is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, That Ninja. By the background, I'm sure you can tell what who one of my teams are. That's fairly obvious. And we will not be covering them this week. I will mention that they did play Grambling and gave them some bread. They did that, but that's about as far as that's going to go. Thank you all for coming aboard. Truly appreciate it. And let me get in the proper mode here. There was one way I wanted to go. Oh, that's right. I remember now. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. And all right, here we go. All right, Boston College versus Michigan State. Very good game. It was essentially a scoring contest. So right off the bat, with Boston College, let's go negatives first. Negatives, defense. Defense definitely has to do a better job. Both teams had stops and moments, had timely stops, which was really what you got in this game. But both defenses pulled a Kardashian. But let's just stay where we're at. Boston College's defense definitely pulled a Kardashian, meaning they were letting anybody in.
Is it true what they say about the way you people are gifted? Oh, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Very little resistance, very friendly, very inviting. I don't mind the company. I know it's crowded in here, but come on in. So the defenses were fairly accommodating, to say the least. It did lead to a game that was fun to watch. But from a defensive standpoint, the negative is that their defense was not very impressive in this game. Although there were times, quote unquote, when they made timely stops. Positives for Boston College. Nice offensive scheme. I believe Bill O'Brien is still the coach. Second year there. Nice offensive scheme and nice execution from the quarterback at Boston College. The colonizer had a very good game, and he was throwing some nice passes. He was throwing some darts. He was dealing. It was a fun game to watch for the quarterback for Boston College. Positives, your quarterback's accurate. Your line against Michigan State kept him clean for the most part, and he missed very few throws, put the ball in a position where the receiver and or the running back could catch it in stride and get the most out of the play. Very accurate. He had a very good game, and he lit up the defense of Michigan State. So the positives for Boston College is a effective offense, nice scheme. Another negative, not much in the way of a running game, and that could be due to the top running back only getting 13 carries, 55 yards, 1 touchdown. Perhaps with 20 to 25 carries, he gets where they need to be. But if I have a negative, is that they needed more out of the running game. That might have helped to keep the ball away from Michigan State a little bit. So negatives for Boston College, they need more out of the running game. That could be lack of productivity or just lack of opportunity. Looking at the numbers, lack of opportunity. 7, 8 more carries, they probably get what they need. So more dedication to the running game. More dedication to the running game and obviously improving the defense. On the side of Michigan State, a negative right off the bat. Again, the defense was in Kardashian mode. All were welcomed. Kardashian mode for the Michigan State defense as well. All were welcome. Now, again, obviously at one point they made a timely stop, but that doesn't change the fact that the defense was definitely in Kardashian mode.
Is it true what they say about the way you people are gifted? Oh, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Before I continue with Michigan State, Boston College, to give him credit, the quarterback, Lonergan. What is this fella's last name? Of course, it's Dylan. Dylan Lonergan, 34 for 45, 390 yards, 4 touchdowns, and I believe no fumbles. Excellent game. He was balling. He was throwing everything on the money, in stride, on time. He had a very good game. I don't know if that's going to continue. I don't know if his line can keep him that clean all year. But against Michigan State, he was clean, and he executed the offense very well. Great game for him.
That boy is good.
Great game overall for the offense.
That boy is good.
And Bill O'Brien, I have to give him credit. He called a great game.
That boy is good.
Those are the positives for Boston College. Michigan State on defense. Again, Kardashian mode.
Man, you sorry.
Sorry. Going back to Boston College. Hey, defense.
Man, you sorry.
And Boston College.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Didn't mention this. Michigan State wins in double overtime, 42-40. 42-40. Again, not much defense, which is why both of them definitely displayed Kardashian values from a defensive standpoint. Offensively, very fun game to watch. Michigan State wins 42-40. Negatives, again, obviously the defense. Negatives as well for Michigan State. Modest in the running game, but again, I think the running game was okay. A little more dedication. I think your running back can at least get 20 carries, but they didn't. Michigan State still had balance, unlike Boston College. Their quarterback threw the ball 40-plus times. They only had 13 carries for their top running back. That they didn't have balance. So maybe the negative is more about a lack of balance for Boston College. Michigan State somewhat had balance. Top running back only had 17 carries, but 81 yards. Overall, they got over 100 yards in the ground. Quarterback contributed to a lot of that, along with 29 from the second running back, Tullis. Aiden Childs, 19 for 29, 231 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, no fumbles. And I wanted to mention that before I went here. Again, the negatives, the defense going Kardashian. I'm going to stay away from the running game. They did a good job. So the positives, balance, good job by the running game, and Aiden Childs taking care of the football and having a productive game in the air and on the ground. 270 total yards, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. Nice game for Aiden Childs. Positive thing for Michigan State, good offensive showing, nice running game, no turnovers from the quarterback, and finally taking a step to getting over the hump and winning these close games that they were losing last year. As I said before the season, they have the potential to be viable in the Big Ten. You need more from the defense, but if you go back last year, Oregon State played multiple games where they gave up many points, so that doesn't give me pause into saying that Michigan State can be viable this year if they continue to take care of the football and play aggressively offensively. The defense can get better during the course of the year, but they can score with most teams if they, play good football. So nice win for Michigan State. Good victory for them. Overall, great job by them as a team.
Good.
Boston College.
What's the letter? What's the letter? What's the letter of the day? The letter of the day is L.
This could have possibly been the best game of the – I think the first two could have easily been the best game of the day. I think all of these could have been, maybe except for one, because it wasn't as quote-unquote exciting. It wasn't as exciting. Let's just say it like that. SMU versus Baylor. Oh, that was a good game. That was a good game. So much happening in this one. Okay. SMU versus Baylor. Again, another high-scoring game. SMU, again, made the playoffs last year. Their quarterback, quite frankly, had a bad game, turned the ball over. They were moving the ball in that first drive. They had a great play call. He missed a touchdown throw. They ended up getting a field goal. Maybe it was a turnover, and it really went bad from there last year. But a lot of people returning, same team, strong team, in a position to make it back to the playoff and or win the Big 12. Well, those two go together essentially to a degree. But in a position to do that, still in a position to do so, but a very exciting football game between SMU and Baylor. Baylor wins 48-45, beating the number 17 ranked SMU team. Baylor not ranked. Baylor wasn't ranked. I didn't mention rankings in the previous game. I guess I could do that if that's relevant. Let me see. Were there any rankings involved? No. Boston College, North Michigan State are currently ranked. So SMU ranked, and rightfully so. And a tough loss, but let's get into why it was a tough loss. And again, give a brief synopsis, positives and negatives. And this is the Underground Railroad Show, hosted by your boy, That Ninja, going over select college games and going to go over a decent amount of NFL games, giving you the positives and negatives. And also trying to give you these Cow Awards. I'm trying to do it within a 3-hour frame because I believe beyond that time, it may thin out. And again, I'm not going to deal with the infuriating nature of these Cow Awards without a packed house, or at least a steady house. But Baylor winning 48-45 in double overtime, as was the previous game that I mentioned, Boston College versus Michigan State. Again, these were good football games. I'm not going to sit here and go over every detail, but high-scoring game, a lot of scoring, a lot of offense. Let's start with the victor, Baylor. Negatives, again, obviously the defense, very Kardashian-like tendencies. Everybody's welcomed.
Is it true what they say about the way you people are gifted? Oh, it's true. It's true.
But again, timely stops. But in this situation, I wouldn't necessarily give Baylor's defense the credit for a timely stop. And I'll tell you where I really felt that came from when I get into SMU. But very quickly, the negative was the defense and their output. Positives for Baylor, rather. Again, colonizer for Baylor. And homie for Boston College was lighting it up too. But I was actually impressed with Baylor's quarterback. Baylor's quarterback was dealing. He was dealing. Nice throws. I mean, both quarterbacks were lighting each other's defense up, but Baylor's quarterback had a very good game. Didn't miss a lot of throws, threw the ball on time. Didn't underthrow a lot of receivers, and this will become relevant as we get into the crux of the game. But a great job by Baylor's offense. They played great football. So from a positive aspect for any Baylor fan, your offense is legit. Your quarterback's legit. It's just a matter if he's protected, I have no doubt he can deliver the football. Excellent job by him. Baylor does not have the worst defense in the world. I know they got lit up, but again, a lot of teams with so-called great defenses had multiple games where teams were scoring more than 28, more than 35 points. That happens. Sometimes it's just better offense. So I'm not going to just dismiss them completely, but in this game, they were definitely Kardashian-like. So the positives for Baylor were great offense. Negatives, obviously, a very welcoming defense. Very, very, very welcoming defense.
Man, you sorry.
Offensively, great job.
That boy is good.
For Baylor, the quarterback, Robertson, 34 for 50, 440 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, no fumbles. Excellent game, great job. A lot of throws, but 440 yards, 34 for 50 is a nice percentage, and they still got in a lot in the running game, so they were balanced, so I'm not necessarily mad at how much they threw the ball. Great job by the quarterback.
That boy is good.
Top running back, Washington, 31 carries. Again, their top running back still had 31 carries. I'm not mad at their balance. 115 yards, 2 touchdowns, grinding it out. Only averaged just under 4 yards a carry, 3.7. And was the bell cow for Baylor, did most of the dirty work. Nice game overall offensively from Baylor. Baller for Washington as well.
That boy is good.
Nice game. Top receiver, 9 catches, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Cameron for Baylor. 9 catches, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging over 15 yards a catch. That young man was balling.
That boy is good.
Crazy offensive output for Baylor. Hawkins at receiver, 10 catches, 145 yards.
That boy is good.
A 63-yard receiver in Prentice, 2 touchdowns. I believe that is their tight end. No, that's a wide receiver. 2 touchdowns, 63 yards on 4 catches for Prentice from Baylor.
That boy is good.
Ridiculous offensive production on the Baylor side of the ball. Great showing from them offensively. They get the victory in double overtime, 48-45. On the SMU side, the negatives, obviously, it has to be said, very Kardashian-like tendencies by the defense. Again, anybody's welcome. Come on in. No resistance.
Is it true what they say about the way you people are gifted? Oh, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Again, balance. Harden for SMU, 19 carries, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns. Great game.
That boy is good. That boy is good.
Jennings, the quarterback, 16 for 22, 295 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. And I believe that pick was, trying to remember, was he getting hit at the time? Was that towards the end of the game? But 1 pick. You never want to throw an interception, but not a bad game. Top receiver, Brinson, 4 catches, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great game.
That boy is good.
Cooper, 2 catches, 89 yards, 1 touchdown. A lot of big plays for SMU.
That boy is good.
Very disappointing loss. I'll tell you why I believe that occurred. These are all positives for SMU. Great offensive output. Nice job by the quarterback. 1 turnover. I believe that was that might have just been a bad throw. No, I remember. Underthrown ball in the end zone. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Baylor's quarterback, I don't think he left a ball short. Jennings left 2 balls short. 1 cost him an interception. The other one was caught. Defender didn't make the pick. He made a great break on the ball, missed it. Receiver concentrated, caught the ball, touchdown, very first play of the game. Explosive touchdowns from SMU all day. Same for Baylor, methodical drives, big plays. Great game to watch aesthetically and offensively, assignment, all that good shit. Great game. Great game. I believe what happened to SMU, well, a couple of things. One, their kicker failed them twice. I thought they could have been a little more aggressive on the last drive, and then a couple of their drives, I felt like they had throwaway plays, which allowed Baylor to get back in the game. And that turnover in the end zone because of that short pass also hurt. So Jennings had a couple of throws he left short, and one, was a touchdown. The other one was an interception. So again, if the defender makes the play on the first one, you got a problem. But I could easily say if the defender doesn't make the play on the second one, you got 2 touchdowns. It is what it is. But I have to point out that one throw left short in the end zone would have been a touchdown, but it was short. Defender made a great play, interception, big play in the game. That was the one pick. No turnovers from Baylor in that regard, so that interception mattered. Even with that, SMU did a great job of getting back in position, great plays, led by Jennings, the quarterback. Line up to win the game. Again, I felt like they could have been a little more aggressive, take some of the pressure off the kicker. What do you think happened? Wide right, you're going to overtime. Now, this is where I had a problem with the coach. And I had a problem with him during the game with throwaway plays. I hate when a coach has throwaway plays. Everything that you run should be to be ahead of the chains and move the ball. You shouldn't run something that seemingly, from a scheme standpoint, had no chance. I hate when I see that, especially in crucial situations during the game. SMU in overtime. First overtime, they came out throwing. I think they got a touchdown on the first play. Baylor scored. We go into double overtime. I think Baylor goes first. They score. No, that's not right. SMU goes first because they went second the first time, but they were aggressive and they scored early. Touchdown, make the extra point, and that extra point was fading right. He made it, but it was an ugly ass extra point. Double overtime. SMU gets the ball first. What does the coach do? The same thing he did in 1 or 2 drives during the game when they should have been trying to win the game and not allow Baylor to get back in. He ran the fucking ball on first down. Not even from a scheme standpoint, not even creatively, not even giving himself a tactical advantage with some type of line shift, jumbo package, tight end, something, a shift with the tight end. There was nothing. A predictable play into the teeth of the defense that went nowhere. They got behind the chains. You have to score. What are you doing? He put his team behind the chains. Defense makes a good play on second down on another stupid conservative pass. Now it's third down and fuck you. They don't get it. The kicker comes back out. This motherfucker chokes again. Wide right. Game over. I put that shit on the coach. Your team fought hard. Your team fought hard to get back in that after allowing Baylor back in. Got to overtime. Had to get over the kicker going wide right. So you shouldn't depend on him. He just went right in the fourth quarter. You should be aggressive. Instead, you played into the hands of putting the kicker back on the field. He lost the game for you. Why in God's name did you not trust your quarterback who was on fire? He left one ball short. That's what the pick in the end zone. Other than that, he was having a great game, making explosive plays. You should have trusted him. You should have trusted the offense. You let your team down, and you're one of the teams that can still get in the playoffs, but you didn't have to lose a game against a team you might see again later on when you're trying to win the Big 12 championship. Terrible job by the coach, man.
Man, you sorry.
Don't get it. Bad job, sir. And I was rooting for SMU. I like them as a team. I was rooting for SMU. I didn't like that. Didn't like that. And I see this thing is close to having the same issue. So I don't think it was a Facebook feed, especially if I see a skip right here. But I can't really, coach. It's on you. It's on you. That's just your squad. Baylor. Sorry.
You gotta be quicker than that.
Terrible loss. And it was so unnecessary. If you lose trying and they just stop you, okay, why did you waste first and second down? Man. What, you want the kicker to come back out? To quote Bomani Jones, the kicker had onset lemon booty. Not once, but twice. Onset Lemon Booty. He was scared on the bench, very upset, as he should be. And I didn't see people over there trying to comfort him. I'm sure somebody was, but he was by himself. That was bad. The coach should have never put that kicker in that position. The only thing he should have been kicking was a PAT. As a matter of fact, because it's after one more overtime, it would have been, you had to go for 2 anyway, so he could have stayed on the sideline where he needed to be. As a matter of fact, you should have been trying to get there. Let's get this. Hopefully stop Baylor. If we don't, now I don't got to worry about my kicker. Now I think you don't even run plays. It's just 2-point conversions. After like 2 or 3, you don't do anything but just 2-point conversions. Terrible job by the Baylor coach. But that was your fault, sir. Unfortunately, SMU.
What's the letter? What's the letter? What's the letter of the day? The letter of the day is L.
This is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, That Ninja. Let's get into the chat room, and then we'll continue with a very limited amount of college football games. But for the most part, some very good games, in my humble opinion. First man aboard the train, none other than JBJ, a man that was here for my very first show. And make no mistake, the majority of the people that frequent the train have been here at least, well, a lot have been here since year 1, and most have been here since at least year 2 or 3. There were some late comers. There were some late comers to the old platform, the quote-unquote Spreaker world. Coming aboard the train, JBJ saying, good evening. I'm sorry, coming aboard the train with his traditional good evening.
Motherfucker. Motherfucker. Motherfucker.
Just making sure the sound bites are good. Next man aboard the train, retiring retired as the only recipient of the Bomb Drop Award. I give you none other than Sluggo the motherfucking Hammer. What's going on, sir? Thank you for coming aboard. Coming aboard, a man that is very happy with his team and very happy with last year's fake ass, bias ass. I won't do that, Ruff. Yes, I will. I won't say he's comfortable because he told me beforehand they're gonna fuck Lamar Jackson and get us Josh Allen. But a fan of, not his fault, but a fan of last year's a case study for pushing the false narrative of white supremacy. A big fan of the Bills, none other than the great Ruff Buff, playing scratch golf on multiple courses across these United States. Ruff said, we can see Ninja's peanut head self. I cut the camera on about 2 shows ago, sir. Change the glasses up. I got you, sir. I got you. I'm going to switch them up here and there. I'm going to switch them up. I'm doing this mainly because when I did the little test runs, when I'm looking all across, because I have to do my own production. So when I'm looking all over the place, I found that it looks kind of crazy. So because it looks crazy, what I do is just cover my eyes when I'm doing it. But I got you, sir. I got you. Sluggo said, Nick with the aviators on to keep from catching a reckless eyeballing charge as the Horowitz's twins walks by. That's funny. Hey, once again, Nick, that is funny. Nick with the aviators on to help from catching a reckless eyeballing charge when the Horowitz twins walk by. Y'all have to stop with these lies. Horowitz is still hysterical, sir. Still hysterical. Can't call it rough. That's funny. Sluggo said, yes, sir. Welcome aboard, sir. That explains the buzzard luck we experienced on Sunday. Wow. Really? That's what we're doing? That's what we're doing? We're going to get into it. It wasn't my fault. Sluggo is a big-time Falcons fan, has been for a while. I believe a season ticket holder. I think it's okay to say that. But he's suggesting or implying that me picking the Falcons somehow brought them luck. Now, because of what the Falcons have been doing over these previous years, you definitely can't blame me for what happened in that game or for what happened in that game because of all the things that have happened in the past. Let's not bring up the Super Bowl and the score. I won't do that. But I'll get into the positives and negatives and why I'm not tripping on that too much. And I understand what happened and I understand the circumstances that led to it. And, these things can be improved upon. Always some BS involved, but that's to be expected in the NFL. But no, I didn't jinx your team, sir. I didn't jinx them. But we will be fine. Let me get used to saying that. We will be fine. Sluggo said, unfortunately, the Jets haven't committed to Fields. Not sure why he's still on a prove-it deal in a league full of bums standing behind center. You're right about that. They gave him the most I believe in you deal. But he should have gotten much better than that considering the bums that have gotten paid. One named Sam Bradford. He had one good season, ladies and gentlemen. One. After multiple failed chances. 3 different teams. The camera thing, I got to get used to the camera shit. 3 different teams. This is an adjustment, I swear. 3 different teams. 3 different teams. Coming aboard the train to his usual bomb drop for slapping the sauce out of his wife's hands when she tried to apply it to my ribs. Real talk, true story. I would give you the audio account, but we're trying to be efficient. Thank you for coming aboard, sir. He is a big-time fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. I have some thoughts on them as well. He is very, as are the majority, well, I'll say all of the passengers on the train, realist about their teams. They won't hype their team up if they know their team isn't good. They hold their teams accountable. One of the requirements in here. If not, you probably get tired of my commentary a lot. But as I said, the great Sidney Jackson coming aboard the train. Sir, because of the desert deed that you endured and the punishment from that particular act. But again, I wasn't there to witness it, sir, but we here, man. We here. Like Martin, we here. To respect the ribs, to not allow foreign sauce to, again, as a barbecue snob that I am, no longer eat pork, but I still make some fire ribs for you. If you want them, whatever. Pork chops don't matter. The only reason people smother their barbecue in sauce is to cover up the fact that they don't know how to season their meat properly. That's why you're doing it. Learn the art of seasoning. I digress. Again, Sidney Jackson, your bomb drop will always fall for that act. Salute, sir. Sluggo said, I can't remember if Baylor won in week 1, but it feels like they'll be able to contend in the Big 12. It does, and again, I'm cautioning myself. I'm hesitant. As I said, give me 4 games against quality opponents, and before I get definitive. But if I had to say so, if I had to make a statement or make a voice an opinion right now, I'd agree with that. But I feel the same way about SMU. I think their coach let them down. I mean, that game could have went either way. I feel the same way about SMU, Baylor at this point, Colorado because of their schedule. But I think Colorado right now is constructed the way I've seen them play. They're going to have to get a lot better to beat SMU or Baylor. At this current moment, I think Colorado would have to improve to beat SMU or Baylor right now. And I could be wrong if they improve their offense because, again, the defenses appear to have Kardashian-like tendencies. So it's not like you can't score. But Colorado's offense isn't getting off like that right now. So then there's that. We have Light Skywalker aboard the train coming in saying fake ass Isaac Hayes.
Who raised you? Who raised you?
ABM said Baylor lost in week 1. Sluggo saying wide right seems to be a theme. Seems to, sir. Seems to. ABM. SMU is in the ACC, Nick. They are? I thought they were in the Big 12. They're in ACC? Oh, excuse me. I apologize. Thank you for the correction. SMU's in the ACC. Lost to Baylor. Okay, well, at least it wasn't a conference loss. Okay. Maybe that coach learned their lesson. Completely unnecessary loss, though. Tough ass loss. Thank you for that, ABM. Thank you for that. That's right. Where were they originally? Yeah, I forgot. Because more I think about it, they came out of the ACC last year. And that was part of the argument. Okay. Thank you for that, sir. Thank you for that. Great game. Rough result for SMU. But again, felt like the coach just that in overtime, I just didn't understand that you don't have time for throwaway plays in overtime. That was very confusing. Ole Miss taking on Kentucky. Ended up being another good game. The first real test for Ole Miss. I think Kentucky might have played a decent team. I can't remember. I think they might have played a quality opponent. Maybe I'm wrong. But definitely the first real test for Ole Miss. They've been warming up. No respect to Sluggo and ABMs. Georgia State Panthers. No disrespect to them. And again, I still have these microphone motions. I used to have to lean in the mic to do that. Mic's here. At any rate. But this is actually true now because of participation and dedication. Sluggo and ABM's Georgia State Panthers finally got to look at their stadium. Nice spot. TJ Finley's the quarterback now. I mean, all jokes aside, I'm interested in seeing that. So if he's on the field, depending on the opponent, I'm probably going to check and see if I can talk somebody into going to one of these games. So I'm going to holler at y'all and look at this schedule and see which game would be more intriguing. I'm assuming homecoming would be, quote unquote, more festive. I'm assuming you can do homecoming. But another subject for another day. Tough loss for SMU. Once again, this is the Underground Railroad Show, hosted by your boy, That Ninja, going over select college football games. Ole Miss defeats Kentucky 30-23. Hard-fought game, not easy for Ole Miss. They pull away in the end, but had some struggles. Again, young freshman quarterback. Let's go with Kentucky first. Negatives. Not a lot from the quarterback. Negative aspect is that your quarterback didn't turn the ball over. But on 30 throws, he only gave you 149 yards.
What the hell did you just say?
On 30 attempts, he gave the Kentucky Wildcats a whopping 149 yards through the air. On 30, I said 30 attempts.
Man, you sorry.
Struggling. Putrid through the air. So a nice, we'll get there. Obviously a decent showing. Either a decent showing by Ole Miss's defense or a lack of a skill set from the quarterback and or the OC putting him in a position to utilize whatever his skill set is. And I'd like to, I'm a detail person, so in this situation, when I say the game plan, I realize that with a bullshit game plan, a lot of people may struggle. If you have the type of OC that says this is the game plan, if you can't execute it, something's wrong with you. A real coach looks at what he has. Okay, what do these people do well? That's what we need to do. Somebody with a game plan, which anybody can have a fucking game plan and follow it. That's not really coaching. Coaching is looking at what you have and putting these players in the best position to succeed. That doesn't always happen. So it could be him not being productive. It could be the coordinator not putting them in a position to succeed. It could be a combination of both. But again, after about 4 games, You can tell because if the offense works, he'll simply miss the throws and or the reads. If there's nothing to read or nothing to throw to, that will become apparent. But not much in the way of a passing game. So that's definitely a negative for Kentucky. Definitely a negative. The running game was decent. 15 carries, 93 yards for McGowan, 2 touchdowns on the ground on only 15 carries, 56 yards on 14 carries for Dowdle. So very efficient on the running game, well over 100 yards. Obviously, if McGowan gets more than 15 carries, he can do more. Considering the lack of production from the quarterback, I would think McGowan needs at least 20 carries, maybe 22 to 25, and that can shave down those throws for the quarterback, who's obviously only dinking and dunking anyway. But I'd at least give the running back 5 more carries if he's getting me 93 yards on only 15 carries. Nice game. Top receiver only had 56 yards, no touchdowns through the air. Again, time will tell whether that's game plan or ability. So negatives for Kentucky, lack of offensive production through the air.
Man, you sorry.
Positives. Strong defense, timely defense, a defense that takes advantage of opportunities. A pretty good defense, a competitive defense. Kentucky has that opportunistic defense. Made 2 interceptions on the freshman from Ole Miss. Great plays. Gave their offense and their team a chance to capitalize on those plays. So I like the defense. A nice defense, nice defensive showing from Kentucky. So that's a positive for them.
That boy is good.
And a positive is also the running game. I liked what I saw from that.
That boy is good.
On the Ole Miss side of the ball, negatives. I can't really say it. Negatives, run defense. Run defense. Now, it could be a big play here and there. I don't remember the details, but run defense, they gave up way too much. Averaging 6 yards a carry, and it could have been just one big run. Honestly, I don't remember. That's why I'm clarifying or putting a caveat on that. But better effort with the rush defense in this particular game. That was a negative. Great job in the pass defense and limiting the quarterback. Quarterback didn't turn the ball over, but the only thing he could do was dink and dunk. So they either took away the deep routes or perhaps they were never challenged. Either way, 149 yards on 30 throws is either great defense and or bad offense, but I'll give them credit for that. Great job by the secondary and the defense as far as stopping the passing game, whether it be rushing the quarterback or secondary play.
That boy is good.
Another negative, the turnovers from the freshman quarterback. Have to acknowledge that. But I'm not going to hit him with the button because as a freshman in the growing curve, I understand the first game against a real team. So a negative is definitely that he tossed those picks.
Man, you sorry.
But a positive is that he stayed with it, didn't put his head down, and made plays to allow his team to win in the end. That was a good job in that regard from a freshman quarterback, 19 years old, maybe 18.
That boy is good.
Another positive is that Ole Miss won this game against a division opponent, a conference opponent rather. They won this game against a conference opponent during a game where the young quarterback was going through a learning curve. Turned the ball over twice, fought back, made plays with his legs and arm. Defense made plays, and they come out with a win while he's still learning, making mistakes that he will learn from. That is definitely a positive for Ole Miss as a team.
That boy is good.
Great win for Ole Miss. Nice conference win. Nice learning game for the freshman. Hopefully he learns from this, turns the ball over less, learns how to survey the field a little bit better. But again, I like the fact that he didn't put his head down. He was resilient. Good win for Ole Miss, 30-23. And I won't, for time purposes, I won't look ahead into games that are coming up right now. Nice win for Ole Miss over Kentucky. Nice win. That School Up North took on Oklahoma. Now, before this game, and that School Up North in their previous game, they did a good job with the top recruit in the country. By letting them play, I saw they let him. There was an open game plan. They were throwing the ball. He made the reads, knew where to go, throwing the ball with zip and confidence. And for some reason, the crying coach came into this game and handcuffed Bryce Underwood until it was necessary for him to throw. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. That School of North taking on Oklahoma, another one of the marquee games during the weekend where you're thinking to yourself, we could get something right here. We could get something right here. And time pending, if I can get through the NFL, there are some college games coming up next week that deserve a mention, but for time purposes, I'm going to stay away from anything this weekend that was not competitive. Once again, college football is about to crank up. There aren't a lot of some of these teams really have rough schedules. So to a degree, I understand what would appear to be an early soft schedule when you have a murderer's row coming down your schedule. And that is the case for multiple teams in the SEC, most of which were in the previous West. There are some SEC teams with, in comparison, easier schedules. There are some with murderer's row, like Florida, Arkansas. I think South Carolina got a rough-ass schedule. I mean, a lot of teams have to really play some tough teams. And with the current landscape, it appears, or it would appear, that you're really not even getting credit for that, which is crazy. And before I move on, I'm moving so quick. Let me give credit what credit is due. The freshman, Simmons, 13 for 24, 235 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Cannot give you a baller for that, sir. Can't do it.
Oh, you almost had it. You got to be quicker than that.
I will give you a baller for being resilient, not putting your head down and making key plays for your team to win, which is why you also had 44 yards on the ground on 8 carries and a crucial touchdown.
That boy is good.
You redeemed yourself for the mistakes you made through the air. You made plenty of great plays through the air as well. Those 235 yards, Ole Miss needed every one of them. I believe the young man will grow from that again. Young quarterback. And one more side note, I applaud the coach for not doing anything stupid like pulling him out, putting in, staying with him, understanding there's a learning curve, allowing him to have natural progression like his Caucasian counterparts. Just like to mention that because that's not always the case.
That boy is good.
So great job in that regard. Want to get those out. Kentucky didn't give you your props.
What's the letter? What's the letter? What's the letter of the day? The letter of the day is L.
I can say before we even get into it, very disappointed in the game plan. That School of North taking on Oklahoma. Have to remember Oklahoma and Texas SEC teams. 24-13, Oklahoma defeats that School of North. Let's go with that School of North first. This is different. I'm not necessarily mad at the defense. I didn't think they were in Kardashian mode. I just think Oklahoma made plays. But when it comes to timely stops, they weren't able to pull them off. But again, for me, I think a lot of that was the coach in that I hope to win game plan instead of, and I'm trying to win game plan. He had that, I hope I win. Please win. He didn't come into that game like he was confident in his team, at least from an offensive standpoint. And I think the team could sense that. But I hated the game plan from that School of North. And their crying-ass coach. The coach, these players. Nigga, I wish you had that type of emotion when you constructed this motherfucking game plan.
You rotten bums! You're all garbage! All of you!
Obviously, not a fan of that School of North. The least you could have done is giving me a good game. I'm rooting for the young man you have at quarterback, and you made him look pedestrian with that pedestrian-ass game plan. That Hey, crying coach.
You're a goddamn genius. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160. You are goddamn gifted.
Obviously, I mean that in a sometimes that's a positive soundbite. It's not in this sense. Jesus, bro.
Man, you sorry.
That School of North, negatives. Terrible offensive game plan, not a confident game plan. If you're going to go with this young man, go with him. Play football. Let him progress and make mistakes like Lane Kiffin did with his quarterback. There might be a pick. There might be a misthrow. There might be an overthrow. He might miss a read. He has to learn that shit, and he can't learn it if you don't let him do it. That was bullshit. Terrible game plan. Stop. Let him play. Let him throw the ball. Give your team a chance. You still had an opportunity to win the game. I put this on you in that game plan. A negative for that School of North was that piss poor offensive game plan that set their young quarterback up for failure. You did not set him up. You did not do a good job of setting him up for success with your game plan. You didn't put him in a position to utilize his skill set at all. Horrible job by the damn coach. Shitty offensive game plan. Therefore, a very mediocre offensive output.
Man, you sorry.
That was a negative in this game for that School of North. You have to improve. Another negative was not being able to adjust to the running ability of the quarterback of the opposing team. He definitely made plays, but after so long, let's spy and or make sure we account for him because that's where we're being hurt. That's what's hurting us to a large degree in crucial situations. So not a great job of adjustment by that School of North. That is another negative in my opinion.
Man, you sorry.
In the same breath and in concert, the defense also made plays and gave their offense opportunities. But again, the coach didn't help them. That's why I'm not completely trashing the defense. I felt like they gave the offense enough opportunities and the coach did not utilize said opportunities. So I do see the effort from the defense in some regard. And I think your coach sets you out like the neighborhood freak.
That boy is good.
So I see that effort. Don't think I don't see it. Positive aspect was what I just mentioned about the defense. And I have to stop there. I hated what I saw on offense. I think you limited your quarterback. You made it hard on your team. And there's no need to play I hope I win football all year. That's going to make life hard on you and your quarterback. Let that man play because I don't want to hear later he's benched for not being productive when you never let him play. Then you put in some random Caucasian and all of a sudden you're throwing the ball all over the yard. Don't do that shit, crying ass coach. Fix your game plan. Piss poor job by that School of North. I thought they would compete. The score says they did. Again, I don't think Oklahoma's quarterback had the game that I'm sure they're giving him credit for because of how he looks, but he did a decent job on the ground. He made plays. I was more impressed with his legs. He wasn't dynamic through the air, but he had an opportunity to make plays because he threw the ball 34 times. Underwood had 24 throws, most of those in the second half. And looking at the numbers, you think, God, that's a terrible job. The coach did not set him up for success. The line did a terrible job of protecting him. So again, another negative, piss poor job by the offensive line. Forgot to mention that.
Man, you sorry.
That School of North still ran the ball well. 125 carries for Haynes on 19 totes. 125 yards on 19 carries and a touchdown. That's production. They should have been able to utilize play action off of that, and that's why I blame the coach. So negative is the offensive line, negative is the defense at times, and the negative was definitely the game plan that was made up by the head coach. Going to the Oklahoma side. Negative, rushing defense. Definitely could have did a better job. That School of North if they simply would have utilized play action, they could have gotten even more out of their running game. So a better defensive effort in the running game from Oklahoma would be necessary, or I would consider that a slight negative, considering the production of the running back on only 19 carries. Only 19 carries, nice production. Let's call that a negative for Oklahoma. A positive, aggressive and confident offensive game plan. Another positive, the mobility of your quarterback and the plays that he made. But I like the opportunities that they actually gave their quarterback. That School Up North didn't do that. Oklahoma gave their quarterback opportunities. He utilized a lot of them. Turned the ball over once. Threw an interception. Didn't fumble. So he did turn the ball over, but that School Up North was not trying to take advantage of that. So Oklahoma was pretty much safe. Nice game plan by them. Nice game from Mateer. Mateer was 21 for 34, 270 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. But he also had 74 yards on 19 carries, 2 touchdowns. Great game.
That boy is good.
Again, I don't like the quarterback. The quarterback had, wow. If you multiply the top running back's carries by 3, he would still have 1 less than the quarterback. I don't like that. There's no way you don't have a running back. And if you don't, that's on you. Let your running back eat. The quarterback having 3 times as many carries as the top running back is fucking insane. I don't think they can live like that all year. A lot of football left. I don't think they can live like that all year. That School Up North missed opportunities. They could have won that game. I don't think every team is going to cripple their quarterback with a bullshit game plan. But again, positives for Oklahoma, timely defensive stops, pressuring the quarterback on defense, definitely a positive.
That boy is good.
Aggressive offensive game plan, and a quarterback that is a complete quarterback and he can utilize his legs. And you allow him to throw the ball and make mistakes. Great job by Oklahoma. Good win.
That boy is good.
Great job by them and a good win. Last game I want to get into is Arizona State taking on Mississippi State. Positives for Arizona State. They're well liked by the media. And they have a ranking early, and if they fight hard enough, they might be able to keep it. Positives for Arizona State. They did a great job of running the ball against an SEC defense. I don't know how good they are, but Arizona State ran all over Mississippi State. 110 carries on 18, 110 yards rather, on 18 carries for Brown of Arizona State. Udo had 105 yards on 23 carries. Over 200 yards with just 2 running backs. Add about 35 more with the other 2, along with the quarterback. Great job with the running game for Arizona State. Through the air, very mediocre, and their quarterback hurt them. Levitt or Leavitt, let's say Levitt, 10 for 22. 82 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks.
Man, you sorry.
Negative for Arizona State was the passing game and the quarterback. Positive on the offensive side was the running game. Great job by the running game and the offensive line.
That boy is good.
Quarterback threw the ball away twice. Under 100 yards on 22 attempts. Mediocre effort from the quarterback. 1 touchdown on 68 yards on 6 catches from the top receiver, Jordan Tyson. 1 touchdown. Horrible game by the quarterback. Mediocre through the passing game as far as Arizona State, but a great job of running the ball. On the Mississippi State side of the ball, negatives, passing defense.
Man, you sorry.
Positives, rushing defense.
That boy is good.
Positives, offensive passing game. 19 for 33. Chapin was 19 for 33. 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, no fumbles. The running game for Mississippi State was garbage. Top rusher did not even have 50. They had under 100 yards as a team. The running game was putrid. I don't know if that's them not dedicating themselves to it. Top running back only had 8 carries. So limited possessions because Arizona State could run the ball. So I don't know if it's a lack of dedication or a lack of opportunity. But they did a good job through the air with only 33 attempts, but not a lot of rushes, probably from a lack of having the football or maybe a lack of dedication to the running game. But a nice offensive output through the air for Mississippi State. Mediocre on the ground. Nice job by the quarterback, no turnovers. Got to give Chapin the baller.
That boy is good.
Top 2 receivers, 6 catches, 133 yards, 2 touchdowns for Brennan Thompson. Great game, sir.
That boy is good.
Anthony Evans. Let me make sure. Anthony Evans. 9 catches, 108 yards, and a touchdown. The receivers were eating for Mississippi State. I was impressed with the way they were moving the ball.
That boy is good.
Again, there's a lot of football left. I need 4 games against quality opponents to have a definitive opinion, but it's early. But just teams that, quote unquote, people aren't thinking about, like the Mississippi States, even the Kentuckys, even the Vanderbilts, will go to these other conferences and give some of these so-called top teams hell. In my humble opinion. But again, it's early. But if that's the type of offense that Mississippi State is going to run, it's going to be an interesting year is all I'm saying. Just looking at some of these SEC teams and what they're doing, this is going to be interesting. The games where you're looking at like, oh, that one's not anything. You might want to watch that shit. You might want to watch. And I almost forgot. Biggest upset of the weekend. I haven't even fucking mentioned it. Near and dear to one of our listeners' hearts. And this is a game that we said we needed to look out for. We could see this one coming. Pause. We could see this one coming. South Florida taking on Florida. Florida at number 13. South Florida not ranked. Byron Brown for South Florida looking impressive early, as is DJ Lagway with the opportunities he's presented. South Florida defeats Florida 18-16. Let's go to Florida first. Positives. They made some plays on defense, timely defensive stops. I blame the game plan for putting the defense on the field too much. Negatives. Terrible, conservative, uncreative game plan for DJ Lagway. I don't understand what's going on with the coach. You're not very creative. That was a very bland game plan. You're not challenging the ball. You're not throwing the ball down the field. There's nothing creative going on with the route tree. Very bland, very pedestrian for the talent that you have. You got out coached and still lost in the close game. You did your team no favors. Uncreative game plan, very conservative, very pedestrian, uncreative. I dare to say lazy.
Man, you sorry. Man, you sorry.
Florida as a team.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Negatives were lack of opportunity for the quarterback in the game plan. Negatives were, it's hard to blame the defense when South Florida only scored 18. One more slight negative, not being able to make that timely stop when necessary. But for me, it's really more about the offense and so many throwaway plays. And it ended up costing Florida in the end as they lose a crucial game, 18-16, against a, up to this point, impressive South Florida team with a very impressive QB. Let's go to Florida first. DJ Lagway, 23 for 33, 222 yards, 1 touchdown, and a pick. He didn't have a bad game. The coach had a bad game plan. 33 throws, 222 yards. Dinking and dunking. That was the game plan. I didn't care for that. But a good game. He executed the game plan as best he could.
That boy is good.
Top rusher, 93 yards on 18 carries. Jaden Ball. That's a nice average.
That boy is good.
Lack of aggression from the coach, if you ask me. Top receiver, 60 yards, 1 touchdown on 7 catches. Eugene Wilson. Conservative game plan from Florida. Too much talent, too much ability with your quarterback and receivers, and too rough of a schedule to play like that against South Florida when you should be revving up for what is a damn gauntlet of a schedule. I don't understand that from the coach. He should be criticized for a piss-poor game plan. On the side of South Florida, Florida.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Florida, JBJ's Florida Gators.
What's the letter? What's the letter? What's the letter of the day? The letter of the day is L.
The dynamic quarterback. Again, I had to give him credit before the season. Jungle Brother said, keep an eye on Byron Brown. Byron Brown for South Florida. On the ground, let's start there. 17 carries, 66 yards.
Good.
In the air, 23 for 36, 263 yards and a touchdown. No picks, no fumbles, no turnovers.
Good.
He had opportunities to move the ball and throw it down the field. He had opportunities on the ground. Again, I don't like the quarterback having more than 3 times the carries of the next running back. Almost the exact same thing that Oklahoma did. You have to get more out of your running game without the quarterback. It's a rough proposition to do that for an entire season. I need more out of the running game. Positives for South Florida. Great defense, timely stops. Not great. Florida moved the ball, but they didn't let them in the end zone much, and they made timely stops and got a turnover. Positives for South Florida. Aggressive offensive game plan. Positive for South Florida. Byron Brown was balling. Positive for South Florida. Strong offensive line. Positive for South Florida. Defensive line that gets to the quarterback on occasion. Nice game from South Florida. They have more people on the schedule. Great chance they could come out of the conference they're in. Let's see if they keep it up, if they can be consistent, if they can improve. If Byron Brown stays healthy, gets better, and progresses every game, I would love to see him with an opportunity to shine in a playoff format later on in the year, or at least enjoy him playing teams and fighting for a spot or playing spoiler with the ability of South Florida thus far. I like what I'm seeing from them. Great win from South Florida. Negatives. They had a pretty good game. If I had to pull some negatives, you want to do a little bit more. You want to do just a little bit more and try to do a little bit better in the running defense. But I don't have a lot of negatives for South Florida in this game. I'd like more offensive production. They did what they had to do to win, and let's not act like Florida doesn't have a defense. Overall, good game for South Florida. Great win. Great win.
It's good.
Offensive coaching staff for Florida.
You rotten bums! You're all garbage! All of you!
Big time win for South Florida that a lot of people either saw coming or at least said, let's keep an eye on that game. It could be interesting. And such was the case. This is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, That Ninja. And that concludes the college games that I wanted to get into. We're going to get into opening week of the NFL. We had some very good games, and I'll try not to labor on a lot of them. But we had some good games, a lot of close games, a lot of games that were entertaining but had disappointing finishes, at least for me. But let's get into the chat if we do have something to get into, and we will continue. Sluggo said Colorado is getting with his third stringer at quarterback. Really? Colorado was going with the third stringer at quarterback. I guess he's supposed to provide a spark. If he's better than the transfer, he would have opened the season as quarterback one, in my humble opinion. I agree, and I'll wait to see what I'm seeing. But, I'm still trying to figure out why that particular individual is his offensive coordinator, and I'll just wait to see who the third quarterback is. But if I don't see an immediate skill set, that's going to tell me everything I need to know about that particular OC. But I co-sign that.
Amen, preacher!
ABM said the ACC added SMU in California. Logistics be damned. California is crazy, to quote the youth. California? It would make more sense to put them in the Big Ten, and that's still stupid. California in the ACC. Shit. Okay. ABM said the Panthers are in for a long season. I don't doubt it. But, man. Sluggo said, homecoming is against a team we never beat, Appalachian State. Only GSU will schedule it in that manner. Who raised you? You know what? Hey, listen, I get you want to compete. To be the best, you got to beat the best. I get all of that. I get that.
Who told you that?
I get all of that. I understand. I completely understand. But you're supposed to enjoy your homecoming. You're supposed to schedule a team that you feel you can be competitive against. You feel like you're going to beat. That's why teams feel insulted when you invite them to homecoming, because you're saying, I'm going to beat you. That's why it was always extra motivation. If we went out of town, so many teams invited us for homecoming, not knowing who we were, and then we showed up and they was like, they all ninjas. It was just so many teams did that and fucked up their homecoming because they read an article and thought shit was sweet. We encountered that a lot. You get upset if somebody invites you to their homecoming. That's saying you're a W. We're scheduling you as a W. That's what that's saying. It's insulting. And Sluggo said, homecoming is against a team we never beat, Appalachian State. Only Georgia State would schedule it in that manner.
Who raised you? Who raised you?
ABM said, to sidetrack from football, Nick, have you ever seen Roy Wood's stand-up comedy? I have, and I think he's funny. I think he's funny. He's done a couple of things to where I'm like, okay, he's going for mainstream appeal. But overall, I think he's funny. I like his stand-up. I like Roy Wood's stand-up. There are a lot of he comes from the old school thread of traveling around, working clubs, having to learn how to work different rooms, having to work at the craft, and you can see that in the stand-ups. I've seen, I think the 2 that he's done, maybe 3. I've enjoyed all of them. So yeah, I've seen the stand-up and I enjoy it, sir. I like the unique way that he starts his stand-up. That's not traditional. I just see the originality and he has his own thing. So I'm kind of cool with that. And again, he had one where he said some shit that almost made me want to cut it off. It wasn't probably that bad to other people. It was just in my mind, like, I don't like the false equivalence, or I don't even like that coming up. But again, very small part of the special. I think he's funny. Short answer. But yeah, I've seen his special, sir. Sluggo said Oklahoma's quarterback is definitely well liked by the media. Oh, yeah, well liked, sir. I'd say when it comes to the Oklahoma quarterback, amongst many others, there is one underlying theme.
White man just a joy to be around. They smell like lemon juice and Pledge furniture cleaner.
Yeah, the white man.
White man just a joy to be around. They smell like lemon juice and Pledge furniture cleaner.
Yeah, the white man.
JBJ said, yes, sir. We discussed this one last week ad nauseum. Bill Napier. Okay, this is coming from JBJ, the Florida fan. And yeah, we talked about this game last week because, again, much like a porn star, you could see this one coming. You can see it coming. It was unfortunate, and well, it depends how you're looking at it. The game plan was unfortunate. Again, a competitive game, somebody loses, that's just football. I hate to see what I consider a team not give themselves a real chance. I hate to see that. And wow. Interesting. Okay. JBJ has a knack for that. But yeah, Bill Napier did a terrible job, sir. He did a terrible job. And again, my disappointment is, okay, finally, right? We finally get DJ Lagway in the starting role. Finally. I apologize for that. And yes, this Welch's grape juice, motherfucker. Still drinking it. What? But finally getting to see Lagway in a starting role consistently. And instead of just, playing football, you really handcuff. It not handcuff, but it's you don't need to have a lackluster game plan with Lagway. That's a Graham Mertz game plan. Let Lagway cut him loose. Cut Lagway loose. You didn't have to do that. I just didn't like that. It was unnecessary. And in this situation, unfortunately, it calls forward of the game. It calls forward of the game. And it just wasn't something they had to do. I said, really? I'm like, that is very conservative. Very, very conservative. No imagination. It was just, I don't know, man. I didn't think I was going to see that, basically, I guess what I'm getting. I didn't think that was what I was going to see. I didn't expect I don't know. I guess it's on me for expecting more, I guess. But I thought they was going to let them play. I thought they were going to let them play. I didn't understand that shit. I thought they were going to let them play. Obviously, I was wrong, but I thought they were going to let them play. But they did not, and that was disappointing. I don't know, but I'll say this. Hopefully, during the course of the year, they can look at it and say, okay, we were bullshitting. Let's get into it. Let's actually open up the damn offense. Let's play ball. Let's try to win instead of hope to win. Hopefully, that's what'll happen. But I mean, I don't know. Hopefully that's what'll happen, but I'm still surprised they did that. I don't even understand what I saw. But JBJ, again, there's a lot of football left, but it's a lot of football left, sir, but generally speaking, most coaches don't change up. Like, if you do bullshit like that, that's bad English. But if you have that type of game plan at this point, you know what type of year you have coming. You know all the teams you got to play. You understand you got a rough path. You understand all of that, and you still come with that type of game plan. It's hard for me to think that. It's hard for me to think that y'all are going to change that. But, who knows? We'll see. Series Underground Railroad Show, hosted by your boy, Ed Ninja. I apologize for that pause. Random ranting and whatnot. This motherfucker here. As the computer freezes. Now that one I do know. JBJ says, then this motherfucker has the audacity to say that he will remain the play caller. The rest of the staff looking at him like,
That's a lie! That's a goddamn lie!
oh
That
shit.
motherfucker must have lost his goddamn mind.
That is funny, sir. That's funny.
You hear you? I hear you.
That's a problem, sir. Again, but as I was ranting, that's basically what I was getting into. And as JBJ was just saying, the coach is saying he's not going to give up play calling duties. Everything's all gravy. Everything's good. There are no problems. I mean, so, okay, I get it. There's not a lot of hope for reprieve. But, I mean, if he wants to keep the play calling duties, okay, fine to a degree. But you have to improve. I'm not necessarily, me and my friend were talking about this, like in all seriousness, JBJ, and you might not agree with me on this. But if I'm an offensive play caller, if I have an offensive game plan, I'm not giving that duty to anybody else. I have to call my own plays. I will delegate duties in a way to where I can call plays and it's not going to hurt the team. But I'm not going to give up calling plays. That's what I am. I can't trust anybody else to do that. I can't trust anybody else to call plays. Not at all. So I understand why he wants to call plays. I'll be honest with you. I understand why he wants to call plays. I would do it too. If I'm an offensive coach, there's no way I'm allowing somebody else to call plays. I'm not doing that. Now, if he doesn't improve, if he doesn't do better, he should be fired because it's on him 100%. It's on him 100%. That was a terrible game plan. But honestly, at least you know what it is, game plan wise. Like you understand the game plan now. So if he's going to call plays in that manner, I would keep calling plays if I was him. I know that seems crazy. I would keep calling plays. But in the same breath, if he keeps calling plays, then he should be fired at the end of the year. If he doesn't do any better. So, I mean, he can basically hang himself. I would keep calling plays if I was him. I would keep calling plays. I keep calling plays, but I would fire him if shit go bad. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But I didn't watch him at the other place. Was he an aggressive play caller? I was hollering at the Light Skywalker earlier. Was he an aggressive play caller? Was he ever an aggressive play caller, or is this who he's always been? JBJ, again, some of these things I know I have in the moment, having a hard time finding them. I get back with you. JBJ said, we saw that USF had just knocked off Boise, so you would think that they would be prepared. That game plan, still don't have that one either. JBJ is reaching for everything. Now, some of this shit I have, I just can't find. But JBJ keeps calling for that particular Eddie Murphy soundbite I need to get. Sidney Jackson said, is Florida going to be this year's Florida State? 2 wins? Ooh. If they only win 2 games, JBJ possibly.
I want to have bodies upon bodies upon bodies under me.
I think they'll do better than that. I hope. Sluggo said, looks like USF is going to walk through the AAC after 2 very decent out-of-conference wins. Great point. The rest of their schedule compared to where they started is probably going to be cake. Now coaching comes in. You can't let them get lackadaisical. You can't get complacent. You can't underestimate your opponent. I mean, we'll see. I apologize for the board. I do apologize on the board not being what it used to. But I'll get it there eventually. Not there right now. Now, that one one is around, and for the life of me, trying to remember where the hell it's at. JBJ, once again, we saw that South Florida had just knocked off Boise, as you would think they would be prepared. That game plan, what was that? It was garbage. It was garbage. JBJ said, Sid Jack, don't put that bullshit on my Gators. That's hysterical. Yeah, 2 wins is fucked up. Sluggo said Napier should have stayed his ass in the Sun Belt at the University of Louisiana. Instead, he joined the big boys where the Peter Principle, in parentheses, being promoted until you're incompetent, stopped him in the face or slapped him in the face. Now it's not fun anymore. It's not fun anymore, is it? It's hey man, it's not fun anymore. Right now, against South Florida.
I see dead people. I see dead people. Get your ass down. Get your ass down.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But again, I mean, watch how quiet it's going to be. The Peter Principle. Let me just. Napier should have. Napier should have stayed. And again, I'm going to repeat this, and I'm going to tell you why. Remember when all of this started, and I said there are going to be 2 things that happen. There are going to be some teams that make it in and eventually compete. There are going to be some that wanted to come to certain conferences, and they are going to disappear. Some of these teams that used to be the shit where they were at are going to go to these other conferences, and they're going to disappear. Some are just going to be right in the middle but never get over the hump. And some will eventually really compete. Some right off the jump. But when they really get into having to play all of these so-called mediocre teams that beat you up and could possibly beat you, and they think it's a bad loss, but they don't understand what it is, a random Mississippi State, a random Vanderbilt, a Kentucky one day, a South Carolina coming up and really establishing themselves. I mean, there are teams, Missouri, there are random teams you're not really looking for that'll bust your damn head if you're not paying attention. And every conference doesn't have that. In my opinion. On that note, Napier should have stayed his ass in the Sun Belt at the University of Louisiana. Instead, he joined the big boys where the Peter Principle, meaning being promoted until you're incompetent, slapped him in the face. Now it's not fun anymore.
Motherfucker.
Again, there's a certain policy in the hiring practices.
White man just a joy to be around. They smell like lemon juice and Pledge furniture cleaner.
Yeah, the white man.
Sidney Jackson said, JBJ. Wait a minute. I know what that is. Let's increase. 1 second. Okay. There we go. Let's increase that. There we go. Sidney Jackson said, JBJ, looking at the schedule, I don't know when a win could happen. LSU, Miami, Texas, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee, then Florida State's. That's a nasty-ass schedule. God damn. Wait a minute. Oh, my God. Okay, let's wait. Let's wait a minute. Let's think about this.
Confused, bewildered, lethargic.
That schedule. Florida's remaining schedule per Sidney Jackson. LSU. Miami. Texas. Texas A&M. Mississippi State. Georgia. Kentucky. Ole Miss. Tennessee. And then Florida State.
God damn anybody who doesn't glorify his work.
What the hell did you just say? What the hell did you just say?
That is a shitty schedule. Hey, JBJ, well, I mean, okay, let's see. Florida, if they play like I just saw them play, okay. LSU, they could beat them. They could beat LSU. Newsom Miles not great, but with that game plan, that shit could go 50-50. So I can see losing. That's a lot of talent over there. And South Florida, okay. LSU would be a loss. Miami, y'all could beat them. I'm not impressed with Dude. I think y'all could beat Miami. Texas, with the quarterbacks throwing the ball away, you can win that game. Right now, it's 50-50 until I see something different, but Texas has a mean defense. But I give you a chance in that one because I haven't seen that quarterback do anything. It's not a bounce-back game against a scrub team. Texas A&M, I'll go 50-50 there. Mississippi State, I'll give you 50-50 there. Georgia, the way y'all played, y'all can't do that because not only is Georgia tough defensively, the referees are guaranteed to screw you at least twice. You can't play like that, get screwed and win. It will never happen. That's a loss. Kentucky, y'all can beat them. But again, if you play like that, you could lose that one. Basically, every game on here you could lose with the way you played. 3 of them, I'll give you credit for being able to maybe win those. Y'all will lose Ole Miss with that bullshit, Georgia with that bullshit, LSU with that bullshit, Tennessee with that bullshit, and Florida State probably with that bullshit. But again, I need to see 4 games from every team to tell you for real. Couple more games, an injury here, we could be like, oh, that was fool's gold. But that little dink and nut, that little predictable, never challenging the defense bullshit, that's not going to get it against these teams with elite players on defense. That's terrible. That's not going to get it. That is not going to get it. What a schedule. Whoops. That's the wrong one. My bad. What a schedule. They said this.
Motherfucker.
Has assembled a talented team with a Heisman hopeful, but he is incompetent when it comes to X's and O's, game management, and feel for the game.
He robbing us, you son of a bitch. He robbing us, you son of a bitch.
Preach, JBJ.
He robbing us, you son of a bitch.
The talent is there. If you put them in a position to utilize their talents, we could see some beautiful shit. But right now, the pieces are not in place to succeed, and or the pieces are not put in place to maximize their talent. That's what I think the issue is. Can they succeed like this? Sure. It'll be difficult, but sure. But he is not putting his team in a position to maximize their talent, and that's on coaching.
He robbing us, you son of a bitch.
Rough Buff said Florida is done. 1,000% incorrect. Not true. Not true. Because it's too early. I've seen way stranger shit happen. Way too early to throw anybody away. Way too early. So right now, I can't agree with you. I'll revisit this later. JBJ says, Sid Jack, there's enough talent on that team to offset the inept play calling. True. JBJ said he needs to take a page out of Mike Norvell's playbook and hire a capable play caller so he can take a step back and manage the entire team in more of a CEO role. And again, this is a fan of Florida speaking truth into power with his team. Preach, sir, preach. In a word, sir.
Amen, preacher.
In a word, sir, preach. Again, now for me, if I fancy myself an offensive play caller, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not delegating that duty. But perhaps he should delegate other things so he can focus on his game plan. I don't know. But again, if he can't pull it off, I agree with you. You know, I understand you as a fan, but I'm saying, generally speaking, if I call offense, man, I'm not giving up my playbook. Who the hell? It doesn't make sense for me. I need to try to, so I'm going to bring somebody in to try to teach them to be me. Doesn't make any damn sense. But again, if you show an inability to do this job, I get it. I get it. JBJ said, if I was a gambling man, I would take Florida and the points versus LSU. I'm not mad at you on that. I'm not impressed with Newsom Meyer. And again, most teams don't go back-to-back with that bullshit. Florida will come out and play in a way where you say, this team can do something. And then they'll come out again and you say, why the fuck are you doing this? I don't understand. They'll come out some games and make you say,
Amen, preacher.
in other games, you look right at the TV and scream. It's a very conflicting situation. Very conflicting. Sluggo said the Peter principle kicks a lot of folks' ass, especially in corporate America. The Peter principle kicks a lot of people's ass, especially in corporate America. Okay, sir?
Amen, preacher.
And I agree wholeheartedly. Corporate America, yet another microcosm of society.
America. America.
Unless I missed him coming in, we got 334 on the train. What's going on, sir? 334 said Florida plays Texas, Georgia, Miami, Florida State, Texas, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Tennessee. 2 wins looks possible. Again, 334 co-signing. I'm going to be honest with you. I knew that schedule was hell. I forgot it was that terrible. And to be honest with you, that makes me look at the coach even funnier. So, JBJ, I agree with you. If you know you have that schedule coming, why aren't you revving up to play football? Are you trying to, okay, is it that he thought he could save some of the game plan against South Florida and the next thing he knew he was in a dogfight? Is that it? Either way, bruh, you have to do better. You have to do better. Very disappointing loss. I'm not saying South Florida sucks. I'm saying with your schedule, you can't drop that game. We'll revisit this. If they end up with 2 wins, even if it's only 4, I think the statement is still validated because 4 wins are rough. So if you only come out with 4 wins this season, I think the 2-win statement is validated to a degree. But again, this is the beautiful thing about the beautiful coordinated efficiency that is the game of football. It's the ultimate reality show. I don't have to prognosticate. I get to sit back every week, enjoy each game, and let the season happen. That's the beautiful thing about football. Best reality show on TV. The only thing I have to do to find out what happens at the end of the year is continue to watch. That's it. All I have to do is watch, live in the moment, enjoy the game, let the season happen. I think some people rob themselves of enjoying the beautiful journey because they're so worried about the goddamn destination. You'll fuck yourself in life with that too, FYI. JBJ, once again, Florida Gator fan. Napier is a middle-of-the-road head coach. He's not built for the flagship university in one of the talent-rich states. Get that motherfucker off my team. JBJ is seriously upset because he sees the potential of his team. And as he said, get this
Motherfucker.
off my team.
Motherfucker. Motherfucker.
I understand, dude. Listen, when you have the talent, to a degree, like Ohio State last year, in my opinion, for most of the season, we didn't take advantage of our talent. So I understand what JBJ is saying. It's frustrating when you know the talent is there and the talent is not being put in a position to succeed. That shit's hard to watch, man. It's hard to watch. JBJ said, you have to play who's in front of you.
Come on, man. That's a brittle spirit. That is a brittle ass spirit.
I agree. And again, for me, the committee has to take into account a team like Florida playing that type of schedule. But you insult football when you put a Boise State in the playoffs with a bye. But again, JBJ saying you have to play who's in front of you.
Come on, man. That's a brittle spirit. That is a brittle ass spirit.
I get what you're saying, but that's also a brutal ass schedule.
Come on, man. That's a brittle spirit. That is a brittle ass spirit.
Reading that schedule?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Napier.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Y'all don't have time to bullshit. You need to get ready for this fucking gauntlet you got coming. And you're coming into the gauntlet, backing in and spreading your own cheeks.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Do better, sir. Do better. JBJ said, I understand not wanting to give up play calling if your job was on the line. But this is the same motherfucker who got fired from Clemson when he was the OC. So he got fired from being the OC at Clemson. I didn't even know that.
Motherfucker.
It's clearly not his expertise. Okay, I'd agree. Okay, so Napier was fired from Clemson for being incompetent as the OC. Fired from Clemson as being incompetent as the OC. Went on to App State, did well, got the head coaching job at Florida. And he's struggling. Again, JBJ, I understand your frustration, and because of production or lack thereof, I don't have a strong argument. I don't. And if we're just talking about is this his third season? I don't even think this is his second. Is this at least his third year? In his third year, this is unacceptable from a game plan aspect. From the aspect of a game plan, this is unacceptable at this point. It truly is. $334 said, JBJ, my team is now a Pac-12 team. I expect nothing better. 334, I think you should hold off and just be a little patient. I know it's difficult. I know you might not want to be patient, but I think if you're patient, it might not be as bad as you may think. But again, time will tell. 4 quality opponents, and we'll know for sure what it is. 4 quality opponents, and we'll know for sure what it is, man. 4 quality opponents. That's all it's really going to take. So after those 4 opponents, man, we'll know what we have, and we can give what I would say is a strong opinion. 4 quality opponents, so just 4. And after those 4 opponents, well, you know what? Slow down, T. Let's go back. After those 4 opponents, then I'll go with you. After those 4, you know what I'm saying? After those 4, I'll go with you. Right now, I would say patience. It's so early. It's so early. And later on, we'll have to listen to you telling us about how they came back and everything. So it's early, man. Let's just wait. Let's wait. We've seen crazier things, man. We've seen crazier things. Let's just wait. This. I'm sorry. I'm seeing the comedy. Okay, JBJ said, Bama, didn't your team get dominated by a 5'9" munchkin at quarterback? And you talking about my team? That's funny. Let that marinate. Sir. That was a chat that led Bama to say what he said. Okay. I knew I missed something. Got to slow down just a little bit, but that's funny, sir. That's funny. Still audible. Okay. I mean, I'm not connected to Facebook. I'm still having the same problem. This is interesting, but okay. Do your thing. That's interesting. $5'9" munchkin is funny, sir. $5'9" munchkin is funny. JBJ saying, I understand not wanting to give up play calling if your job was on the line, but this is the same motherfucker who got fired from Clemson when he was the OC. It's clearly not his expertise.
Help! Help me! Help! Help! Help me! Help! Help! Help me!
Studio's got a little hiccup in it. Just trying to figure that out. Interesting. JBJ previously had said, then this motherfucker has the audacity to say that he will remain the play caller. The rest of the staff looking at him
What the
like,
hell's the matter with you? You want me to get fired?
boy, I'm telling you, this platform.
What the hell's the matter with you? You want me to get fired?
These delays
What the hell's the
crazy.
matter with you? You want me to get fired?
These delays are wild. Okay. These delays are wild. JBJ is I'm laughing because JBJ is not happy about his team. He's not happy about his team at all. And that shit's hysterical. JBJ is pissed off about his team. Hey, listen. At least y'all the only person frustrated. Now, I will admit my team has a bullshit schedule. The schedule is fairly soft, so honestly, we should be okay. And honestly, if we manage to fuck it up, we don't deserve any empathy. With the path that we have, our path, the fact that we're liked by the media, we should be just fine. Just fine. And again, Bama telling JBJ, my team is now a Pac-12 team. I expect nothing better. And that was in response to JBJ saying they lost to a 5'9" in the chat room. Let me know if y'all have gotten about 3 glitches. Because on this side, it looks like there might have been that many. Let me know if y'all have gotten up to as many as 3 glitches. I'm still vetting these platforms right now. I will say at this point, I miss my old platform. Really do. Really do. JBJ said he got fired from Clemson and then went under Saban at Bama as an analyst.
I heard you did some jokes about me. No, you didn't. Maybe I didn't. The brilliance is the best brilliance is brilliance born from someone ignorant.
Analyst? Spinning when I hear.
I heard you did some jokes about me. No, you didn't. Maybe I didn't. The brilliance is the best brilliance is brilliance born from someone ignorant. I heard you did some jokes about me. No, you didn't. Maybe I didn't. The brilliance is the best
This
brilliance
shit
is
crazy.
brilliance born from someone ignorant.
And I didn't know that was a combo either. That's a damn combo. That's the combo. That was for something specific. JBJ said this is his 4th season with all of his players. 4th?
Man, you're sorry.
I'm about to get out of here, man. The sound bite, my shit blacking out. But I'm telling you, I'm going to have to reevaluate this platform thing. I'm changing my Wi-Fi service because they went up for no reason. And I can't get anybody to tell me why. So they ass got to go. I don't like the disrespect because I asked that shit at the beginning of the service. But I'm just double checking.
Sorry. Man, you're sorry. Man, you're sorry.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
We got jokes. JBJ said, Bama, my team is a Sun Belt team, apparently. Hang in there, whites. Okay, Rough Buff said, Ninja, it's 2025. You should not be lagging like you using Net Zero. Update your PC and clear out all your junk files. I put my junk files on a damn on a hard drive. I got rid of them. There is one thing I need to do, but still, this is it's buffering. I'm probably about to, if this thing's gonna do that every time I hit a soundbite, man, I'm gonna dip and fix the issue. I need a smoother transition than that. Rub Buff saying, Ninja, don't tell me you're using your daughter's old laptop with the old ass processor. You're funny. I have Xfinity, Rough Buff. I have Xfinity. And the stupid ass site doesn't work because when I put my number in, they're telling me that number is on a different account. So I can't get in the stupid ass site. They upped my bill by $10. I'm getting rid of them just for that because I asked them in the beginning, will my bill come up? They said no. My bill went up. I'm getting rid of them. I'll get somebody else. I don't need shit with Wi-Fi. I can get that from anybody. But I have Xfinity, sir. I have Xfinity. And again, it's not the Wi-Fi. Nothing else that I run gives me any issues. Nothing else I run gives me any issues. It's just this. Let me run a quick test right quick because I was going to do the NFL.
Help! Sick! Help! Sick! Help! Sick! Help!
That's just weird. All right, let me try to get through this NFL. Sydney said Xfinity is trash. They always increase their prices. I'm gonna get rid of these motherfuckers. And look, what I hate. Look, I get it. I know technology, what the fuck ever. Motherfuckers. If this bitch spin one more time, I'm telling you. But I don't like. It's just like going to the store and not being able to go to a register. I don't mind self-checkout as an option, but let me deal with a person if I want to. I don't like the fact that I can't get to a human being. When I wanted to get the account, there was a human being right there to get me in the door. After that, no fucking people. And when I asked why my bill went up, you want me to go to a website to tell me why, but the website won't fuck with me because it's telling me my phone number has already been used, so I can't get in the goddamn secret website society club. Motherfucker, please. So I'm going to call like I'm a new customer, get rid of this shit, get this other fucking company that's been knocking on my door 7, 8, and 10 times. I'm going to get that price. They said it's not going to move. I'm going to see if they keep their word, and I'm going to go from there. But I'm getting rid of these motherfuckers just because, really, I can still pay my bill. The main thing is that it went up, and I can't get an answer as to why. They've already lost me. They've already lost me. Asked you in the beginning, will this go up? No, it will not. Okay. Like I'm not going to get rid of you when it does. These motherfuckers are crazy. But yeah, Xfinity, which used to be Comcast, that's who I have. Xfinity, which is just old Comcast. That's what I have. There is one thing going on. There is one thing that I need to address with this laptop, and maybe that's the issue. But this thing was saying that the Facebook login is an issue, but I don't have a live broadcast on Facebook. I shared it to the groups. Might have shared it to the app itself, but there's not a live broadcast. But the same things that were an issue before to a degree, I'm kind of still having. All those glitches. So it's not Facebook, obviously. I'm having the same glitches. It can't be that. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but it's not Facebook. Not Facebook. Let me do a few NFL games, see if we can keep from glitching. Dallas taking on Philadelphia in the opener. Philadelphia wins 24-20. Let's keep it simple. It's early. As I said, I need 4 games before I can tell you what teams are. In the NFL, you don't have to worry about as many as the scrub thing. So after 4 games, I can tell you opinions on NFL teams. Dallas, Eagles win 24-20. Dallas, negatives. Drops. That's a minor thing, but there were some big drops. Negatives. Turnovers. Negatives. It's hard to say that. I'll say there. Positives. Prescott was on fire. Now, I didn't see him spit on Jalen Carter before the game. Apparently, there was video of it, so he's a bitch at. That was his white side, obviously. Obviously. Historical evidence to the point, but obviously that was his Caucasian side. But as far as playing quarterback, he had 1 bad pass. That motherfucker was on fire that game. He was throwing number darts. 3 of which were dropped by CD Lamb. Maybe a couple others put on the ground. Even when he was throwing into a receiver that was covered, the ball was perfect. That pass he threw to the tight end with 2 Eagles on him, that shit was directly in his fucking hands. That motherfucker was throwing that ball on Thursday. Got to give him that. So good game from Dak in that regard. Positive about the way the offense was moving. I think that was a decent job by the offense for Dallas, at least early on. He was throwing darts. Numbers don't add up because there were a lot of drops as well. Running back was able to finish, but they didn't have a 100-yard rusher. CD Lamb had 7 catches, 110 yards. He probably should have had a minimum of over 150, if not about 170 to 180 yards, if he would have caught those other 3 passes. If he caught those other 3 passes, they probably would have won as well. But negatives for Dallas, needed timely stops, which they kind of got to a degree. It's like it wasn't all bad. There were some negatives that they could have done better with the run defense. They could have done a little bit better with some of the timely stops, and they could have done better as a team with continuing their drives. But not all bad. On the Eagles side, positives, solid defense. Although there were plays to be made, but they made it difficult. Solid defense. Positives, they ran the ball pretty well, and they were efficient in the game plan that they had. Negatives, I hated the fucking offensive game plan. And I guess I should throw this in. A negative, Jalen Carter got ejected at the beginning of the game for apparently retaliating on Prescott spitting in front of him, which they didn't talk about on purpose for a long time because they had a certain narrative. But that is what it is. But I hated the Eagles' offensive game plan. And I think if that's what defensively, I thought they played well, especially considering they didn't have Carter. Now, offensively, I hated the game plan. It was complete and utter bullshit. Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, has been to 2 Super Bowls. In both of those situations, he was one of the main reasons they win. He wasn't like these other quarterbacks getting carried to the Super Bowl. He had something to do with that shit. At this point, he should be telling the OC, this is the offense we're running. It makes no sense for Jalen Hurts to run an offense where A.J. Brown got 1 pass, 1 target, 1 pass, 1 catch. The Book of Devontae got 2. Every other pass was a short underneath pass to the tight end and a bunch of running plays. The only thing that they did positive on offense that I liked, they threw the ball to Saquon Barkley. I like using the running back in the passing game. Why are you cuffing Jalen Hurts? They won. Shitty offensive game plan. Super shitty.
That boy is good.
That was garbage. I'm sorry. Game plan.
Man, you sorry.
Bullshit. Hey, offensive coordinator. Everybody involved in creating that offensive game plan.
You rotten bugs! You're all garbage! All of you!
Hell was that? Super Bowl winning quarterback, 2-time Super Bowl participant, played great in both games. Let's not let him throw. Let's run plays like we have an average-ass bullshit quarterback. Man, if y'all don't stop that shit, Philadelphia is going to make it hard and make it more difficult to win games with that stupid-ass game plan. Don't do that again. If Philadelphia does that all year, they're going to make it difficult for no reason. Hated the game plan. Whoops. Wrong button.
Man, you sorry.
Bullshit game plan. Good job by the defense. Good job by the quarterback and the offense, but the game plan was bullshit.
That boy is good.
OC.
Man, you sorry.
Cowboys.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
CD Lamb. I think I keep saying Dez Bryant. My bad. CD Lamb.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Catch the ball, son.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Dallas.
What's the letter? What's the letter? What's the letter of the day? The letter of the day is L.
Chiefs taking on the Chargers. Positives for the Chargers. Great offensive line play. The Chargers win 27-21. Positive for the Chargers, the offensive line kept Rivers clean. He had no pressure. He did what he wanted to, and he made great passes. With no pressure, he had all day to sit back there, and I said, Phillip Rivers, God damn. I'm going way back. Sorry. The overrated Justin Herbert had a great game. He ran the ball. He had no pressure. Clean jersey. Made the throws. Again, he had time to make sandwiches, put on mayo, cucumbers, arugula, all that shit. So great game by Justin Herbert in the offense. That's a positive. He was well protected. Positive, the defense, slow down. The defense did a decent job against the Chiefs, considering their scoring ability. They also lost Xavier Worthy on the first play. That had a lot to do with it. So insinuating circumstances, but decent job by the defense. They did enough to win. Great job by the offensive line. And another positive, great job by the quarterback. Negatives for the Chargers. A little more efficient in pass defense, but I thought they did a great job with run defense. So their run defense is also positive. Negative for the passing defense. On the Kansas City Chiefs side, personally, I don't think they have been as good offensively since they lost Eric Bieniemy. Even though they won a Super Bowl since then, but as far as the offense and their adjustment ability and productivity and their production during the season, they haven't been the same since they lost Bieniemy. So I think that's a negative on the part of Kansas City. Positive, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, and he made enough plays to keep them in the game. But Mahomes is also under pressure, and he had to use his legs multiple times. Herbert, on the other side, was clean as a whistle. Great win for the Chargers. Again, it's early, but positive for them. They got over the hump a little bit, won a big game. But the negative on that is that the other team lost their top receiver first play of the game, and that compromised the game plan and helped them out a tad bit. But if Kansas City's defense has deteriorated to that point, or they've lost pieces, I don't know what that was, but their defense did not look the same, and they did not get any pressure on Herbert. Now, again, in my humble opinion, many times those quarterbacks, Caucasian quarterbacks, they'll let their line hold, so it could have been that, but I don't get to see the interior every play. I don't know. But I know the defense got no pressure. Herbert was clean, and as a result, the Chargers win, I believe, 27-21, which, again, that's a one-score game, even with all of those small things hampering Kansas City, first game of the year. And also, they were overseas in Brazil, the NFL squeezing blood from a fucking turnip. The Texans taking on the Rams. The Rams beat the Texans 14-9. Positives for the Rams, they made timely plays when they needed to, but defensively, I'll give them credit, but it's more on the Texans to me. I'll give you a little bit of credit.
That boy is good.
But it's really on the Texans. They won, but I'm putting this on Houston. Negatives. The defense played outstanding. Rams only scored 14 points. Great defense. That's a positive for the Texans.
That boy is good.
Negative for the Texans. Terrible offensive coordinator who's a new hire. Horrible game plan. You have C.J. Stroud, and they were not even trying to move the ball. Everything was dump off, conservative, no deep throws, run, run, run. It was complete and utter bullshit. I hope that their brilliant coach doesn't want to do a conservative offense and fight every game and just win on defense. I hope he's not doing that. But the OC is fucking terrible. That was a terrible game plan. You have C.J. Stroud, and they were not aggressive at all. If the Texans do this all year, there's going to be a problem. 9 points is unacceptable. They scored 9 points the whole game. The Rams only got 14 points. They didn't do shit. But the OC is on some run the ball, barely throw it, never go down the field, hope we win bullshit. The Texans haven't been playing like this. And if this is what they want to do, they're going to open up the division for somebody else. It's almost like there's a script. I don't get it. Tampa Bay taking on Atlanta. Positives and negatives. Solid game. There's a lot of little detail. I'm not going to get into that. Positives for Tampa Bay. They have Emeka Egbuka from The Ohio State University. He made great plays, 2 touchdowns, really helped the team. Negatives, Law and Order didn't really have a great game. He made plays towards the end. With all of those weapons, he should have looked better than that. It could be Atlanta's defense, could be him, maybe a combination of both. Positives for Tampa Bay, pretty good defense, applies a little bit of pressure, and they have a lot of playmakers on offense. Tampa Bay wins 23-20. The positives for Atlanta, you have a quarterback in Penix. You have players. Negatives, defense. They didn't play terrible, but when you needed a stop, you couldn't get it. And there was one play where Law and Order was not hit, and they called roughing the cracker. Right after that play, they threw a touchdown in the end zone. That gave them the field position to do that. That's relevant. I bring it up because I'm not lazy and I don't leave out details. And if you're paying attention, that happens with those Caucasian quarterbacks. They get help. Ninja quarterbacks do not get help. They went on their own. They're not getting any they're not getting any fortuitous flags ever. They'll get some negative shit, but not any help. Tampa Bay wins this game 23-20. But the positives I take away is I like what I saw from Penix. I like the offense. They were missing Mooney, which hurt. They missed him on offense. And London had to come out a few plays for being hurt. Hurt means you can play, but you're temporarily unable. Injured means you actually can't play. So he was hurt and he missed a couple of plays here and there. One negative aspect is the backup receiver came in, had an opportunity to make a touchdown catch, and he didn't think he was going to get the ball. The kicker missed 2 crucial kicks. And that's a negative. That was also a negative for Atlanta. Makeable kick after Penix had him in field position and missing a kick earlier as well. So Koo needs to do a better job than that. And overall, good win for Tampa Bay, obviously, but it took Mooney being out, a phantom call, London missing for a few plays for them to win by 3 points. Good win, but his first game of the year. It's a long season to go. Law and Order is on his 4th or 5th team after playing many seasons in the NFL. Michael Penix has never played 16 games. They lost, but I like what I saw, and I look forward to the rest of the season with the team I've chosen to root for, who are the Atlanta Falcons. Tampa Bay wins a 3-point game. They made plays in the end. Egbuka was huge. Huge positive for Tampa Bay again, drafting Emeka Egbuka, who paid dividends.
Good. That boy is good.
Multiple heartbreaking games this Sunday. Multiple. We have Raider for Life in the chat room. What's going on, sir? Thank you for coming aboard. Hope you are enjoying the ride thus far. Ralph Buff said, Comcast customer service is trash, but they have good internet. Well, Comcast doesn't exist anymore. They're now Infinity. And again, there's probably nothing wrong with the internet, but they increased the price. And they told me they weren't doing that. They got to go. I'm not paying that price. It's unnecessary. Just not doing it. Thank you for coming aboard, Raider for Life. Sydney said, Philly got KC this week. They must open up the offense or they won't if they want to win. I agree. And again, nice games coming up. I didn't get into the future matchups. It's going to extend. It's going to have me elongated with the combo, and I got to get to some of these games, which are going to hurt to talk about, but it is what it is. Sluggo said, I believe the Falcons are 1-8 in the opening game over the last 9 years. Another slow start for a team who apparently doesn't need preseason games. Again, for me, sir, it was just some plays here and there, some unfortunate circumstances. I think if that receiver looks up, it's a touchdown. If that's Drake London, it's a touchdown. If Koo makes a kick, they go to overtime. I mean, there is significant stat, but I just think there's something special about Penix. And again, even in this situation, he didn't fail to make the play. He got the ball with less than a minute and got y'all in field goal position. There was 56 seconds or something left on the clock when he got the ball back, and he got Atlanta right in field goal position. And quite frankly, they could have scored if the receiver was on his shit. So I think y'all got something with that young man. I think y'all got something. Well, I take that back. I think we have something with that young man. JBJ said Tampa has set Law and Order up for success. Goodwin will be back soon to pair with Evans and Ibuka, with Bucky in the backfield and arguably the best left tackle in Wharfs. Again, preach. They gave him everything after failing in 4 different places to absolutely no media scrutiny because they saw none of it. And now he's on a stacked team playing decent ball and all is forgiven. Amnesia for everybody. Preach, sir. Raider for Life said Tampa will be a problem. No, they won't. They have all those weapons. Law and Order had a super shitty game. He didn't have a good game. He had a bad game. The team won. He did not have a good game. I think Sluggo said Tampa didn't look good. Law and Order had at least 2 picks that were dropped. Facts. He had a bad game. And again, if not, little things here and there, a fake-ass roughing the cracker call, shit like that helped and aided them in that situation. He made some plays and made some throws, but there's nothing special about Tampa. They got players everywhere. Law and Order is not special. No matter how many edited highlights they give you, he's not. Raider, I understand that from you, though. You think the slow-ass European center is actually special. He can play. He's not special. He's white. They're promoting him because he has that look. I saw it coming years ago in the NBA. And I look up, and they've given this European Caucasian guy 3 MVPs in that league, which is a goddamn joke. NBA constructs their superstars. I'm good on that shit. I haven't watched him play without shoving people out the way first and shooting. There was a time when they didn't let white people do that because they were slow. I'm not good enough to get around you, so I got to push you to get out the way. And they're just letting him do it because otherwise he couldn't score. That is not fucking impressive. That is not an MVP. How the fuck do you get an MVP when you have to shove people out the way to shoot the ball? Yeah. And when history reflects on that shit, they're going to put him up there with people that can actually play so they can push this shit overseas. It's all bullshit. But Tampa got talent everywhere, but I don't believe in Law and Order like that. He's going to have to show me something. I don't believe in Law and Order like that. They got talent everywhere. But it took all kind of bullshit for them to beat Atlanta by 3. And again, this is what people leave out. That's Penix's 6th game, 5th, 4th, 4th, 5th, 6th game. That's Law and Order's 80, 100 something fucking. He's played for a while. Between those two quarterbacks, who look better? I think the season's going to tell the tale. Rough Buff said, Ninja, can't believe you didn't join the Mafia. No chance in hell I'm joining a team that has a quarterback that the league's promoting as something that he's not. One day he may be what they hope. He's never been that up to this point, but they speak about him like he is. He's everything that's wrong with this country and that sport. I can't stand that shit. Ruff said, you could have had free wings for life. Hey, man, I'm good. There's no way I could root for Josh Allen. And listen, it's not Josh's fault. I'll tell you what bothers me on a personal level. I've watched too many ninjas with great skill sets, proven their worth in college, not get a chance. That's why I can't stand watching Law and Order fail 4 or 5 times, go to a stacked team, and now they're pretending like he's always been great. Lying, saying Cleveland wasn't a good team. It wasn't his fault. It was 1,000% his fault. Cleveland couldn't win because he wasn't shit. But he's white, so we're not going to say anything. Let me repeat that. He's white. That's why Law and Order still has a job. He's in Tampa pretending like he's great. He failed in Cleveland. If a ninja would have got 2 years and they would have threw his black ass away. He got 4 or 5. Left to crickets. Went somewhere else, failed. Went somewhere else, failed. Let's send him to Tampa Bay. Oh, he's so great. What a comeback player. Bullshit. The point of it is, if black players got the same opportunity as them, they would show you great things, but they don't get it. Black players don't get to fail with a team stacked around them. They're the reason they can't win, but yet and still, the media never says a fucking word. Then I get to go to 3 more teams to figure it out. So it disgusts me to see these white quarterbacks get that chance. I can't cheer for that shit. It has nothing to do with them, but I'm more pissed off about players with higher skill sets that don't get a fucking chance. And I watch the media attack them, and I got to listen to people that don't know football repeat that shit like a neutered bitch. But they don't criticize Law and Order, who failed for years. I'm not impressed with a second-year player looked better he looked better than you in that game. When Michael Penix has all the years that Law and Order has under him, he is going to be phenomenal. He's going to be extremely impressive by then. Law and Order is not in the same year as Michael Penix, but looking at that game, if you didn't know, would you think one player had been on 4 teams and played for multiple years, and the other one was only a second-year player that's never played a full season? You would think that was Law and Order. That's how he was playing. So, no, I'm not impressed with that shit. Now, Josh, no matter what he does, he's going to be okay because they like him. I don't like the fact that he can just be okay and they compare him to a once-in-a-lifetime phenom like Lamar Jackson. So, again, it's not Josh's fault, but his kin media makes me not want to root for him. Let me say that. I could not be a Bills fan, sir. I could never do it. Now, the free wings for life are intriguing. I couldn't root for the Bills, man. I couldn't do it. Not with Josh Allen, that quarterback. Not with what y'all did to 12 gauge and fucking Tyrod Taylor. And Sean McDermott's bitch ass, fuck him. Can't do that. Can't do that. Raider for Life said, no Todd Bowles defense. He said, no, Todd Bowles defense will always have Tampa in the game. Oh, yeah, they will, but Law and Order is still the quarterback. So, I mean, we'll see. They've barely gotten over 500 the last 2 years, but most people don't watch that. They just listen to the media, so they think these motherfuckers are 12-5 or some shit. They're barely getting over 500 the last 2 years. There's been nothing phenomenal about the seasons and shit. But, I mean, we'll see. I mean, as the entire year is played out, we'll see. But it took all of that for them to beat Atlanta. In the game where is Michael Penix's 4th or 5th game. The motherfucker on the other side been playing for about at least 8 seasons. In perspective, I'm not tripping on that for real. Sluggo said, yeah, Tampa's run defense shut the Falcons down, but the OC likes to consistently run dumbass short yardage plays, so that doesn't help. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. He did well by putting them in the passing game, but the running game, did get slowed down. But for the most part, I thought the passing game was there. There was a missed throw here and there. Sometimes they got pressure on Penix where he couldn't deliver the ball. But for the most part, he threw the ball where he wanted, for the most part. But again, I mean, a lot of football left. And I have almost elapsed my time. I might give y'all a few more games, but I'm not going to lie. Probably going to shut this thing down. Here's another game that hurt. The Steelers taking on the Jets. It was a nice back and forth, a great game. Let me just get into the keys of it. Again, not going to get too just detailed on small things. You notice I'm not harping on the stats right now. Multiple reasons for that. But again, Law and Order Mayfield, 17 for 32, 167 yards, 3 touchdowns. He threw some nice passes to Ibuka that scored, and I forget the other person that scored. I can't remember, but 32 throws, less than 200 yards. That's not impressive. That's not impressive. 39 yards on the ground, that's okay. But again, Atlanta did a good job defensively as well. Tampa didn't have a running game. Law and Order had the most yards on the ground. That's 39. So give credit to the defense. They didn't let Tampa run the ball either. I mean, again, it's just the sky is not falling, man. Calm down. Sky's not falling. Very close game, and it took a lot for them to win again by 2 or 3. With a team to stack like that and an 8-9-year veteran against somebody that's never even played 10 games, okay. They win, but I didn't see anything that made me damn jump out. Penix was 27 for 42, 298 yards, 1 touchdown. No turnovers. Again, 42 throws, but he had 298 yards. Law and Order had 32 throws, didn't even get 200 yards. Penix threw the ball very well. Just to play here or there. And as far as the running game, Atlanta got shut down. Top runner only had 24 yards. So they did a good job of slowing that down. And again, Penix using his mobility. Even if Penix is slowed down, that nigga run like a 4-4. And I'm being generous by only saying 4-4. And again, for those who didn't actually watch him, his first 2 years in college, he played for Indiana. At Indiana, they ran him a lot. That's why he got injured. He was getting hit because he ran all the time. He hasn't had an injury in 3 years. 2 at Washington, 1 in Atlanta. Bringing that up now, that probably means you watch a lot of mainstream and you're repeating what they say because you don't know any better. I get it. That's what children do. But bringing up his legs as far as injuries, everybody can get hurt. But he doesn't have brittle legs. That's a mainstream narrative because they hate all black quarterbacks. And I can say that because of their coverage. 3 years, no problems. You know why? Because in Washington, he got to throw the ball. Therefore, he's not running all the time, getting hit on a scrub team like Indiana. So it takes very little effort to research that and realize that there's actually nothing wrong with his knees. The running thing with Penix, anybody surprised? Okay, thanks for let me know you didn't watch him in college without letting me know you didn't watch him in college. He's fast as hell. He doesn't have to do it. You know why? Because he's excellent delivering the football. Who knew? He can do 2 things at once. Goddamn. Atlanta has something. Atlanta has something in Mr. Penix. And again, good win for Tampa, but not impressed by a stacked team and a veteran quarterback beating that team by 3 with all of the mistakes that they made. And all of the defense didn't play terrible. They just gave up some plays in the secondary. And some of that was just good play design and a good pass. It was just football. But again, the game should have went to overtime and we would have seen what would have happened. But the kicker went wide right. It is what it is. Pittsburgh taking on the Jets, another game I was interested in. Mr. Fields in New York, Old Man Rodgers in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins 34-32. Great game. Again, let's go Pittsburgh. Positives for Pittsburgh. As long as you keep Aaron upright, he can still throw the football. Positives for Pittsburgh. You have talent, as always, on defense, and you can make stops. Positives for Pittsburgh. You have playmakers that if you get them the ball, they can do things for you. Negatives. Secondary can play a little better, and the rushing defense can be a little better. But overall, good game for Pittsburgh. The Jets, positives. Great rush defense, limited Pittsburgh. Negatives. Plays in the secondary that were there to be made was simply misplayed at times during the game. Positives for the Jets. I like the offensive game plan. First game, getting the feet up under them, but I like the offensive game plan. I like the opportunities for Justin Fields to carve up defenses. And I think as the season progresses, you'll see a lot more of that. Overall, I just thought this was a good football game. Just a disappointing ending for me. I wanted Pittsburgh to lose because, quite frankly, those dumb motherfuckers should have kept Justin Fields. But, keep the old-ass Caucasian, pretend like it's an equal thing, and it makes sense. And the media praising old white people while they're telling you early ninjas in their 30s that have broken records forever can't play. But, they do what they do. Old white men, magical. Ninjas like Justin Fields, I just don't know if he can play. I don't know. All that stupid shit. But, okay, fine. There's no bias. But Justin Fields, I think, will do well in this Jet system. Great game. At the end of the day, they just fell short. But I'm not mad at what I saw. All losses aren't equal. There's another loss I'm about to discuss that made me sick to my stomach because I think the team put themselves in position to lose. These two games, I thought both teams were trying to win. They fell short. That's football. So there were a lot of plays in this game. I thought two things. One, Jets had a chance to hold on to the ball and keep it so they wouldn't lose. So they wouldn't lose to Pittsburgh. I felt they were too conservative, gave them the ball back, and that cost them. When they got the ball back, Fields got them down the field, no pun intended. Took off running. There were some defenders in front of him, so he dumped it off to Garrett Wilson. Jalen Ramsey made a great play, lit up Garrett Wilson. He let the ball go. Game over. Pittsburgh wins. Only thing Garrett Wilson could have done, he might need to watch film on Marvin Harrison. Because of his size, when he catches the football in traffic, he might just want to immediately get down like Marvin Harrison used to. Because you take that big hit, now you can't play. So in that situation, since he had the first when he caught it, it would have been nice if he could have, he probably still would have got popped, but it wouldn't have been a solid hit. Because as soon as he came down, he would have went on the ground. Ramsey would have flew past him. First down, keep the chains moving. So that's the only thing Garrett Wilson could have done. But let's give credit to Jalen Ramsey. He lit him the fuck up. And again, Justin Fields got hit in the helmet once or twice, hit late once or twice, but he's a ninja. He doesn't get that call. It is what it is. When the pocket collapses, Rodgers can't get away, but when he has time, he can make the throw. He can still throw the ball. And again, being a Caucasian that they like, who has always been a bad man, he'll get to play until he doesn't want to anymore. But a phenom like Cam Newton, they'll push him out the league and give you all kind of bullshit reasons. Everybody just goes with it. Kirk Cousins can barely move, but yet and still, he's still playing. And then just say, oh, I'm so happy he's here to be the backup. Just watch what they're doing. They do that because Cousins is going to have records because he's lingering. They don't let ninjas linger. Cam Newton should not be out the league. Right now, he should still be playing. Jameis Winston should not be a backup if you judge him by ability. But again, all they have to do is put together a nice little edited film, and it's all gravy. There are so many garbage-ass Caucasians playing. Sam Bradford has had one good year. He's not better than Winston. He had one season. How can, you know what? One goddamn season. He has a bigger contract than Justin Fields. One fucking season. Let me say that again. Sam Bradford has had one fucking season. One. Every other season he's been fucking garbage. One. Big ass contract. Fuck out of here, man. At any rate, I like what the Jets were doing. I think they can build and improve upon it. Hall ran the ball very well. Fields used his legs and his arm, was dicing up the defense in the second half, late in the first. I like what I saw, and I think they can improve and build upon that as the season progresses. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the Jets do during the course of the year. The Pittsburgh won this game, but let's see what happens during the course of the season with an elderly Rodgers and a line that can protect him sometime. Because unless the Jets are elite on defense, which who knows, they may be, Rodgers apparently is going to be under pressure because they put a lot of pressure on him. So either the line needs to improve or the Jets have a pretty good pass rush. Let's see what happens with Pittsburgh when Rodgers takes multiple hits and he goes out the game and another mediocre failed colonizer comes in that cannot play. They will be struggling to win by defense every game. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. There's a long season. Great win for Pittsburgh. They won that particular battle. Let's wait till the end of the season and see who wins the war. Justin Fields, 16 for 22, 218 yards, 1 touchdown, no turnovers. 48 yards on the ground, 2 more touchdowns. Great job by Mr. Fields.
That boy is good. That boy is good.
Mr. Aaron Rodgers, 22 for 30, 244 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. If he's upright, he's still a bad man because he gets the opportunity to still play. Good for you, sir.
That boy is good.
You glad you don't have melanin, a wider nose, thicker lips, and apparently a bigger package because you would be out the goddamn league. Good game.
That boy is good.
DK Metcalf, now a Pittsburgh Steeler. He's going to pay dividends. Austin proved to be a great number 2. He is now still the number 2 to DK Metcalf doing his job. Nice game by Pittsburgh. They win. They still have a solid defense. They have an elderly Caucasian, but if he's upright, he can deliver the ball. Great game, great ending, great finish. Good football week 1 in the NFL. Tampa Bay, Atlanta was a good game. I just hated the end. Pittsburgh, New York, great game. I just hated the end, but great game. Let me give you another one that was a great game, and I absolutely hated the fucking end. Rough Buffs, Buffalo Bills taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Bills win 41-40. Positives for the Bills. I like what Josh Allen did. I like the fact that they ran the ball. Another positive. Don't put it all on him because he'll fuck it up. Buffalo had balance. They ran the football instead of putting it on Josh, trying to make him look good, because that's when Buffalo gets in trouble. And I'll be honest with you, they weren't that balanced. But at least Josh Allen didn't turn the ball over. He had 46 throws. I did not realize he threw the ball that much. Damn. Timely runs for Mr. Cook. Baltimore actually did a pretty good job on the running game. Josh Allen played a good game because he didn't turn the ball over. Generally, 46 throws for Josh Allen means 1 or 2 interceptions. And I think there may have been 1 dropped. There was 1 dropped. At least 1. Maybe 2. But good game for Josh Allen. Generally, if it's on his shoulders, he'll turn the ball over. He also had 30 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. His legs are his best asset. But in this game, he looked pretty good from the passing game. I'll give him that. Defense for Buffalo. Honestly, they made timely play. It's hard for me to give them credit because I'm putting this on Baltimore, but I'll give them timely plays. But a good game for Josh Allen.
That boy is good.
Oh, no turnovers.
That boy is good.
Defense was opportunistic, but I put this on Baltimore.
That boy is good.
Baltimore, negatives. Stupid ass offensive coordinator. Now listen, it was a great game, having fun, all that good shit. Lamar Jackson throwing the ball effectively. No turnovers, 2 touchdowns. Only 19 throws. Josh Allen had 46. Derrick Henry, less than 20 carries. 18 carries, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson had 70 yards on the ground and another touchdown himself. Slow down, T. Lamar Jackson had 70 yards on the ground and a touchdown himself. Great game. Zay Flowers, in the air, 7 catches, 143 yards and a touchdown. A touchdown for Hopkins on a great one-handed catch, beating double coverage. This is the problem I have. And I'm not taking anything away from your team, Rough Buffs. Great win for Buffalo, taking advantage. Baltimore played good ball for the majority of the game. And after that That last drive, Lamar Jackson made a big run after he ran back, avoided the sack, and then made a huge run. Next play, Derrick Henry takes it to the house. And after that, the offensive coordinator for Baltimore stopped playing football. 3 possessions straight. He was only trying to kill clock. He wasn't trying to move the ball. He ran the ball dead into a defense waiting on Derrick Henry. They got nowhere and gave the ball right back to Buffalo. The second possession, that was a fumble because you ran him into a defense that was waiting on him. You can't fumble, but you set him up for that. You have Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, a great team. Why are you being conservative and acting like you have one of these average colonizers that like Brock Purdy? What are you doing? That's on the OC. Keep playing football, you dumb motherfucker, and the game will be over. 3 straight possessions, he did not try to move the ball. And to Buffalo's credit, Josh Allen took advantage. Now, the secondary for Baltimore got burnt on multiple occasions when they were making those plays. But considering the way they played all game, I'm not just going to, I know most people just, oh, you suck, you sorry. I think that's very simple-minded. Life is so much more complicated than that. Towards the end of the game, the defense was set out because the offense wasn't trying anymore. And I just don't think people pay attention to that. A good offense makes the defense look better. But when the offense goes out 3 fucking possessions in a row and doesn't attempt to move the ball, you're setting your defense out. Henry should not have fumbled. But that stupid-ass play should not have been called because the defense was waiting on it. Bootleg. Dump off. That's a minimum of 5 yards, if not more. You keep moving the football. That was the most park and recreation, ignorant shit I've ever seen in my life. So because of those 3 possessions after that drive, they gave Buffalo the opportunity to come back and win in the end. And as soon as that ball went in the air, I turned the goddamn channel. That was disgusting. Almost every Caucasian hopeful that's average that the league is hyping won on Sunday. And that shit was sickening for me personally. But I take a positive takeaway because I saw the good things that those teams can do. And I saw that it was their mistakes that led to the loss. Now, again, simple-minded people might just try to dumb that down to the simple shit that all the average people talk about, but I give details. Because if you don't get a fake-ass roughing the cracker call, he doesn't get that touchdown throw because he's not in a position to make that throw in the end zone. All of these things matter. The smartest thing Tampa Bay did was drafting Emeka Egbuka. That's what they did because that motherfucker was showing out. Emeka Egbuka was out there like a veteran. And those passes to him were great. Great play design. And more importantly, in those situations, he had protection. And again, his best asset, just like Josh Allen, is that he can move. He's not a statue. So again, great win, but I'm keeping it in perspective. Great win for an 8, 9, 10-year player on his 4th team with talent everywhere, winning by 3 points. Great game. Long season. We'll see. Long season. Great win by Buffalo. The fake MVP wins the game because the offensive coordinator apparently wanted to make him look good or wanted the game to be close. Because I can't think of any logical reason for what should be a 3-time MVP being restricted and basically forced to do nothing for 3 drives straight while the other team comes back and they hope to win instead of trying to win. Nothing about that made sense. And part of that, on top of a couple plays here and there, is why they lost last year. Throwaway plays, throwaway possessions, instead of going out and winning the game. So it's very disappointing to see Baltimore come into this season and the old Caucasian coordinator still doing the same stupid shit. Little things like that. Like everybody behind Lamar Jackson, if it is an average colonizer that really can't play. God forbid that man has to come out. They have nothing behind him. Just people he would like to go fishing with. Look forward for the rest of the season, but these were all ugly, horrible losses for me. But for Buffalo, great win. You persevered. You didn't give up. You didn't put your head down. And when Baltimore gave you an opportunity, you took that shit. Josh Allen made the plays and didn't turn the ball over, which is uncharacteristic for him. Very impressive. Great win by Buffalo. Horrible self-inflicted loss by Baltimore. Baltimore.
It could be quicker than that.
Man, this is wild. This soundboard.
It could be quicker than that.
Baltimore, I hate to do it. You disappointed me on Sunday night.
What's the letter of the day? The letter of the day is L.
Ooh, these damn cucumber water. Ugly, 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 ugly losses. Those were all great games, but man, I hated the damn result. I missed your chat, sir. Hold on. I read that one. Must be this one. You can't be talking about this one. JBJ said the defensive tackle Villa is instrumental in this run defense, but they have no elite pass rushers. Okay, sir. See, this is a Tampa fan giving me details. Read that. No, that must have been it right there. Let me know if I missed it. I think I read it. JBJ said Bucky Irvin also had a touchdown reception. Yeah, I mean, they made timely plays at the end of the day. I just hated the end result. I hate all three. That Buffalo game, the Atlanta game, the Baltimore game, the Atlanta game, and the Jets game all hurt because I was rooting hard for all those quarterbacks. Didn't give a damn about hearing Josh Allen ass kissing. Didn't give any flying fucks about hearing Law and Order ass kissing. And definitely didn't want to hear any damn Aaron Rodgers ass kissing. And I had to hear all three. So that was sickening. Sluggo said, what happened with Indy versus Miami? I was surprised to see the Giants reject get that win. Honestly, I didn't watch, but Miami played like pure ass. They played terrible. No offensive production. The human coach was out-coached. Indy already has a pretty good defense, and Daniel Jones executed the game plan. But again, for me, opportunity. Anthony Richardson has never played around a good New York team. Sometimes borderline great if he could actually play. And he was the reason they couldn't win for 4 or 5 seasons. He gets to fail quietly, get let go. They send him to a. But Anthony Richardson would have got kicked out of the league. He's never played 1 season, but they're going to bench him for a failed colonizer from New York. And nobody remembers that he had 5 years to do something. He didn't do a goddamn thing except hold the team back. And when he failed, the media didn't say a goddamn thing. But when he went to Indianapolis, they wouldn't shut up about him being a starter. And I'm supposed to believe these poorly raised motherfuckers aren't biased. They're the most ignorant. There's nothing good about the news media in anything. Sports, there's nothing good about the media. It's all bullshit. And some people will listen to that and just absorb it, and it's their gospel. This thing is still spinning. I'm probably getting ready to, I'm at my mark too. I'm going to get ready to cut this short, unfortunately, because I didn't get to all the NFL games I want to get to. But I'm going to try to troubleshoot some of these slight issues I'm having. I apologize for the cows as well. But considering Yeah, definitely. Almost 11 Eastern. We're going to get ready to shut this down, but there were some more games in the NFL that I was interested in. There were some more games that were very competitive. I will quickly talk about, not really, but Washington did a good job beating the Giants 21-6. Miami looked like pure ass. Indianapolis has a good defense. And again, Daniel Jones played well. My bigger issue is with the fact that white quarterbacks get chance after chance after chance. And the only reason they don't get criticized for it, and I have to believe this because of a social experiment, when ninjas play well or bad, the media is always talking about him. He shouldn't be the starter. He's not good, blah, 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 over and over again. Generally speaking, most ninjas listen to that, then get on social media and say the same thing that they heard because those people's grass is greener and their water is colder to a lot of us. When white quarterbacks play terrible, way worse than the black quarterbacks that are actually getting news media, they simply don't say anything. And as a result, the same people that criticize these ninjas don't say anything about these guys. Law & Order played for many years, many teams, did nothing, not a goddamn peep. And now the same ninjas that are criticizing Richardson are saying Law & Order is playing great football. Well, if Anthony Richardson got to play for 8 years and 4 fucking teams, he might figure it out too. As a matter of fact, if he just gets to play 1 fucking year for 1 team, maybe he'll figure it out. I wouldn't know he's never gotten that goddamn opportunity. And that does not happen to white quarterbacks. That's not an excuse, that's a fact. But I realize people are simple-minded and you're trained and you're just going to go with the narrative. So do your thing, but just it would be nice if black quarterbacks got a white chance. It would be nice instead of playing 3 games and the world saying he's a bust. But I got to watch Law & Order play seasons, do nothing, and nobody says shit because the people you look up to don't say anything. It's a goddamn shame. And it's all so they can, again, everything, educational system, education, the movies, sports, they push this little supremacy shit because they're that mentally impotent. And with this asshole in office, these motherfuckers are getting worse, which is hard to do when you already ain't shit. I digress. I'm sorry. Washington beats the Giants 21-6. Good win for Washington because the Giants have a good defense. But I was really surprised that the Giants couldn't produce anything on offense with Wilson. It's either lack of production from the Giants, the Washington defense, or a combination of both. But good win for Washington, implementing their pieces. You got McLaurin signed. You got Deebo Samuel. You got effective running backs. You're rookie. You still got Eckler, tight end. I mean, defense is very much improved. The media is pushing that Washington might not make the playoffs, but again, that's because Jaden Daniels is a ninja and they didn't pick him. But looking at Washington was 1 game away from the Super Bowl, and the white media and the ninjas they hire say that they aren't going to make the playoffs. There is nothing from a football aspect that justifies that stupid ass take. The defense is now better. Daniels is a year better. They gave him more weapons. And somehow they're going to be less successful. Now, if you know ahead of time that the refs are going to fuck them, okay. But as far as commentating the team, nothing about that makes sense. I know you love for the 49ers to make the playoffs, but they only won 2 or 3 games last year. Y'all just didn't talk about it because Brock Purdy is a white quarterback you like that isn't shit. Average as hell. But most people won't notice because your deity won't tell you that. Watch the game for yourself and you'll see there's nothing there. He threw 2 interceptions in the game that they accidentally won. And when the game was over, they were talking about him like he was a goddamn superstar. He won because Sam Darnold is average and Seattle is rebuilding. And they still won by 1 fucking score after he threw 2 interceptions. But again, he's a white quarterback. Doesn't matter. Anthony Richardson throws 2 picks in the first game. You know that shit the next goddamn day. Purdy isn't shit, but he is white. He's something other than Trey Lance. So they wanted him in the game. It doesn't matter how much they fail, they're still going to kiss his ass. Watch the season and tell me what happens at the end of it. Again, picked to win the division last year. They won about 3 games. Nobody remembers that. The only thing the media said was he bought trucks for his linemen. They're not biased, though. They're all great fucking people. They're all great. The coverage of sports is absolutely horrible. Again, I'm going to leave it there. There was one more fucking ugly ass game. I'm not going to get in that shit. Let me, I'll check the chat room, but I believe in the East Coast, we're getting a little late. So definitely. Let me do this, man. I appreciate y'all. We're going to get ready to shut this thing down. I'm past my 3-hour mark. There were a few games I didn't get to, but I can get that on a continuation. Hey, appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for the back and forth. I am rolling with the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be rolling with the Atlanta Falcons from this point forward, and we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. I'm always going to root for black quarterbacks because somebody has to. And again, that's what I enjoy watching. Again, some people, I get people are trained, especially people that didn't play sports, fantasy people and all that shit. I get it. Y'all don't know any better. Like a child, I get it. But again, there isn't one Caucasian quarterback in the NFL I like to watch more than any of the black starters. There isn't a goddamn one. And that's because of ability on the field. There's not one. I'm not excited about watching Brock Purdy. The only thing exciting is the way they cover him. There's nothing exciting about Sam Darnold. There's nothing exciting about Law and Order. He makes some plays every now and again, but I can't. When I watch people, I've watched Cam Newton break the rookie passing record when everybody in the white media was saying he couldn't throw the football. Let me repeat that. He broke the rookie passing record when the only thing the media said for an entire goddamn year was he couldn't throw. What did he do? He went out and broke the rookie passing record. You know what they said after he broke the rookie passing record? He needs to learn how to throw from the pocket. You know what I heard dumb niggas say all summer? Man, he got to learn how to throw. I stopped them and they started talking. I said, hey, man, just stop talking for a minute. I said, he broke the rookie passing record. How the fuck is the first thing that you have to say is he needs to learn how to throw? This is the only reason I'm saying most people just believe what they're told. They just listen to the whatever little show and then say the shit. Most people don't watch football. I'm convinced of that. Because I watched a man break the rookie passing record and then watch the white media say this nigga can't throw. But Law and Order comes out and plays like pure shit for 8 years and he's still in the league. They pretended like he was better than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has 2 MVPs, should be 3. He only has 2 because he's a ninja. Law and Order has never done a damn thing to justify being picked first in that draft. But again, he can fail quietly because he's white. I'm just pointing out why I can't take the promotion of these players that have every advantage. It's annoying. I root for these guys that got to deal with a biased media, biased referees, and people that look like them that don't see it. It is what it is. But hey, look, appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for the back and forth. Tuesday. When's that Thursday? I will not promise a bonus show this week. I won't promise that. But thanks for the back and forth. I know it's late on the East Coast. We'll see y'all next time, man. As always. But you know what? Before I get out, I'll do one thing that is traditional, but abbreviated outro. As always, on the way out the door, R.I.P. DT. Pops taught me to think of all I speak, but do not speak all I think. Simply put, that means that sometimes you need to think about what you're about to say and who you're about to say it to, and or you need to simply shut the fuck up. But the point is to think all you speak, speak not all you think. The short of that is think about what the hell you're about to say. Don't react emotionally, scream some shit out, and apologize for it later. I know a lot of 50-plus-year-old men that do that all the time. R.I.P. DT. Appreciate you, Pop. Appreciate y'all, man. We'll see you next time. As always, take care and be easy. As we're still dealing with a slow board.